That one too, if you.
We want everybody to see everybody.
Yeah, Scooty, you can put some more girls over
Yeah.
there too.
Hey, Phoebe, come on.
Further in.
Yeah. you can go.
Oh, yeah.
We figured y'all might know each other, so.
Yeah, we figure y'all are fine, close together.
Yeah.
Are we up? We're running? We're good? Actual everything? Yeah. Oh, just the one. Okay, so we're gonna have to recess. Yes,
Might wanna, yeah.
I will.
Keep coming, guys. Come on.
Yeah,
Y'all
come on.
some of y'all can go over there if it's too full.
Yes,
Take
you
some
can
more.
go to the other side or come around the back. Come on in, scoot in. Hi, you know each other, so. Come on in. Y'all can come all the way across the back. Coach Chapman, y'all come on in all the way through there. Yes. This is, sorry, everyone, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties this morning. So if we don't get things fixed, we are on Zoom. I'm going to call the meeting to order in just a second and do the pledges, but just want to let you all know we might have to recess for the rest, but we will do the resolutions and recognitions today. Parents, it will be on Zoom and any photos you can take. But I would like to call Thomas Bartz up from St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church to do the invocation, and we'll do the pledges.
Call to order.
Oh, I do that next. On the next thing. I never do. I don't do the time yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it on, it says call the meeting to order after the pledges and everything. It's every time. I have notes. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, doesn't change.
Yeah.
No, that was Lorenzo, not me.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly King, O Comforter, the Spirit of truth, who art everywhere present and fillest all things, O treasury of every good and bestower of life, come and dwell in us and cleanse us from every stain and save our souls, O good one. We beseech thee, O Christ our God, to stretch forth thy hand and bless these civil servants. Grant them peace, wisdom, and discernment in all their decisions this day. Grant them, O Lord, peaceful times, that we in their tranquility may lead calm and peaceful lives in all reverence and godliness, sending up all glory, honor, and worship to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, now and ever, and unto the ages of ages. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father God. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Thank you. Those of you who have a seat may be seated. We have all commissioners present. It is Wednesday, June the 11th. We are at the Nueces County Courthouse, 901 Leopard, in the Commissioner's Court room. And it is 9:35, and I'm calling this meeting to order now. Are there any announcements of disclosure of conflicts of interest? There being none, we will move on to item number 1E1, resolution in recognition of the Callahan High School Lady Cats softball team on their 2025 state championship for the third consecutive year in a row. Thank you, ladies. And we have Kim is going to read that resolution for us. Kim, aren't you reading that? Yes.
Congratulations, guys. Whereas the Calallen Lady Cats softball team is led by head coach Teresa Lentz, assistant coaches Bianca Pacina, Lamar Lopez, Mark Razou, Max Cave, athletic trainer Lauren Dillon, student coach Kerrigan Raska, and managers Ava Oliveras, Aaron Taylor, Jamie Martinez Jr. And whereas the Calallen Lady Cats softball team consists of Aubrey Kimbrell, Adrina Alvarez, Andrea Flores, Ava Garcia, Bianca Gonzalez, Braylon Bailey, Brianna Beltran, Brooklyn Medor, Candace Esquivel, Elizabeth Smith, Haley Acosta, Jordan Thibodeau, Kaylin Rodriguez, Caden Trevino, Kaylee Lopez, Kelly Flores, Chloe Valdez, Kiana Vargas, Christian Leal, Kylie Butcher, Lizzie Smith, and whereas in 2025, the Callahan Lady Cats softball team finished their season with 34-6 overall record, the Cats ultimately defeated Andrews 9-2, winning their third straight state championship title. Players on the all-tournament team include Braylon Bailey, Jordan Thibodeau, Adrina Alvarez, Kaylee Lopez, Brooklyn Medor, Christian Leal, Caden Trevino. And whereas, in addition, Calallen head coach Teresa Lentz was honored as the 2024 NFHS Coach of the Year. And Lady Cats Junior Braylon Bailey was named the UIL 4A D1 State Most Valuable Player. Her 6 RBIs set a UIL 4H championship game record. Now therefore be it resolved that the Commissioners Court of Nueces County does hereby recognize the Calallen High School Lady Wildcats softball team as the 2025 state champions.
Make the motion to pass.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. I know there's a lot of us that have a lot of things that we want to say, but maybe before we get started, we have Congressman Cloud's offices here and they want to recognize you ladies as well. And then we'll.
What an exciting accomplishment, ladies. We just celebrate with you on behalf of Congressman Michael Cloud and District 27. We're so proud of you guys. I don't know if you're aware of this, but this is the third, well, actually, it's the first time in Texas history that a softball team has had a three-peat in a row. So we just celebrate with you guys that you're making history. And so on behalf of a grateful district, we just wanted to celebrate with you with a special congressional recognition on your accomplishments. I heard it was a great game, 9-2 victory, grand slam, amazing pitching, and all of you guys contributing at the plate was just an amazing game to watch and be a part of. So congratulations. I also wanted to tell you that Congressman Cloud is going to be speaking to the nation on your behalf, sharing those accomplishments on a congressional record, so on the House floor. So once that's done, we'll send you the video and it'll be forever in a moment in time in our nation's history. So congratulations.
Do you want to start, Commissioner Pusley?
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. I do. And again, we want to congratulate all these young ladies for their amazing accomplishment of winning state championship 3 times. Last year, I was on the city council. I had the honor and pleasure of introducing the team on their second win of state championship. And I told them then that that was an amazing accomplishment, but to do it 3 times is just absolutely unbelievable. So congratulations to all of you. And Your Honor, and Commissioners, I want to read just some of the stats here. Their season record was 34-6. They had a district record of 8-0. Their home record was 12-0. Playoff record was 9-2. They had 15 shutouts. They scored 10 runs in more 10-run rule more than 16 times, or scored 10 runs more than 16 times. They had 13 games where the 10-run rule was implemented where, and for those of you who don't play baseball, that means if you get 10 runs ahead of the other team, they just call the game. So, and anyway, they scored 323 runs and allowed 59 with an average score of 8-1. They scored 110 runs and allowed 7 in district play, an average score of 14-1. They scored 16 runs and allowed 15 in playoffs with an average score of 6-1. They won their third consecutive state title. And before 2025, no school had done that. And Cal was one of 2 to hit that mark in 2025. And Coach Lentz, I want to talk about her for just a moment. She won her 300th career game this season. So congratulations to Coach Lentz. And from February of 2024 to February of 2025, this team has won 32 consecutive games. So, and the other thing, let's see, I wanted to talk about Coach Lentz. The one thing that I wanted to share with everyone is that Coach Lentz, and this is really important, graduated from Miller High School, my alma mater. So, well, she was a big star there and a Hall of Fame player for Roy Miller High School. So, Coach Lentz, thank you very much. This is an amazing accomplishment, and I wanted to ask a couple of questions of the young ladies here. How many of you were on all 3 teams? Raise your hand.
Awesome.
And this question is going to be very pertinent to the people who are going to play you next year. How many of you are going to be back next year? So thank you all very much. This is an amazing accomplishment. You not only brought distinction to yourself, but to your community. And we can't thank you enough. And we know this doesn't happen by accident. There's a lot of hard work and time away from your families and time that you have to double up on schoolwork and those kinds of things. So congratulations for the putting in the effort and the hard work and the dedication to make this happen. This is truly an amazing event. And Coach Lentz, if you'd like to say something, we'd certainly appreciate you doing that.
Commissioner, I think we just need to keep her a chair that she can just come back every year because we keep bringing her back.
Sure.
Well, thank you, Mike. I really appreciate it. And once a buck, always a buck. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
but just want to thank everybody for having us here again, and thank you, Connie, for allowing us to be here, and parents, community, appreciate everybody and everyone's support. But just about the girls, it was a big feat to do what we did, but the hardest part is we had 5 starters that left our team last year, so we had to kind of fill that void. And I will say, we had some girls that were kind of ready to ready to come in and take those roles, but they had to make sure that they did what they needed to do, put in the work, and pretty much accept the challenge to handle that pressure, and they did. And that wasn't something that came really fast. That's something that we gradually worked on, and during season. But even that, prior to season, in the fall, in the summer, I mean, these girls are playing all year long. They're committing, they're sacrificing, just like you said, and their parents are sacrificing. I mean, there's so much time and effort, and same thing goes for the boys, I know. But their one goal was to play on the last day and win. And that was the goal at the beginning of the season. They knew that date before I even had to bring it up. And so that says a lot to them and their character. And a lot of people say they're going to do something. Everybody says they're going to win state. Everybody says they're going to do this, but they don't really have what it takes or the integrity it takes to do what they need to do when nobody's looking. And these ladies do. And I hope they understand that. I hope they never let that leave their bodies and their minds and their souls and whatever they decide to do for the rest of their lives. Because if they have this type of mentality and they take this with them outside of high school into college and whatever life brings at them, they're going to be They're going to be all right. So thank you all. Thank you, parents, for your support. Thank you, Cal Allen community. Thank you, South Texas community, and everyone who supports us everywhere else. Thank you for this. Thank you.
And Your Honor, one quick, additional information about Coach Lynch. Her record is 320 wins, 120 losses, and 4 ties, which gives her a 72% winning percentage. But in her last 3 seasons, she's gone 99 and 14 and 2, which gives her an 87% winning percentage. So that's pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
Cal Allen probably needs to give you a raise. I'll just say that. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to echo Commissioner Pusley. I know he represents the area, but I live in the area. My kids, my grandkids went to Cal Allen. I am so very proud to be here today. I had to wear my Cal Allen colors just so I could be up here and support the team. I'm so appreciative of what you do and the life skills that you teach these kids and going out into the world. And we hope that each and every one of you take these to heart, that you come back to this community and utilize that when you live here and raise your children here and do the same thing. So thank you. We're so proud of you and congratulations. Yes. Anybody else want to say? Before we start taking pictures, because there's going to be so much movement, don't leave because we want to take photos with you all. But let's go ahead and do the other resolution for the boys. Resolution and recognition of the Caroline High School Wildcat baseball team as the 2025 state champions. What an awesome day it is to have the softball and baseball both here today. And Peyton's going to read that one for us.
Whereas the Cal Allen Wildcats baseball team is led by head coach Steve Chapman, assistant coaches Joe Luis Lopez, Ray Cardona, Brent Gomez, Mark Medina, Daniel Zapata, Michael Gonzalez, manager Brady Buchanan, athletic trainers Lauren Dillon, Hunter Olazano, student trainer Kinsley Payne, statistician Emily Carney, athletic director Charlie Reeve, principal Yvonne Neff, and superintendent Emily Lorenz. Whereas the Cal Allen Wildcats baseball team consists of seniors Cody Andrade, Hayden Brock, Jaden Cruz, Sebastian Dennis, Diego Fuentes, Michael Garcia, Gabriel Guerrero, Chase Lynch, Alex Rodriguez, Dominic Williams, juniors Angel Acuna, Collier Carroll, Robert De Alejandro, Dalen DeBellis, Aiden Flores, Drayson Gomez, Carson Klosterman, Drayton Mitchell, Coulter Portales, Blake Quinn, Reese Rusher, Lucas Sines, sophomores Jagger Batik, Cooper Beckton, Kelby Broughton, Colton Davis, Wyatt Duke, Cash Fila, Connor Klosterman, Jaden Martinez, Joshua Norval, Darren Nugent, Ryder Reeve, Christian Villarreal, and freshman Eli Romero. Whereas in 2025, the Cal Allen Wildcats baseball team finished their season with a 34-2 overall record, 8-0 district record, and 18-1 home record, leading them to their 14th state appearance since 1993. The Wildcats were undefeated in the playoffs and ultimately defeated the Pleasant Grove Hawks to win the 4th state championship title for Cal Allen and Coach Steve Chapman's 1,200th career game win this season. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Commissioners Court of Nueces County does hereby recognize and commend the Cal Allen Wildcats baseball team as the 2025 UIL 4A D1 state champion. Duly adopted by the vote of Commissioners Court of Nueces County, Texas on this 11th day of June, 2025.
Motion passed.
So moved, Your Honor.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Coach Chapman will give you the floor for a second. You want to say a few
Your Honor,
words?
before Steve speaks, I'd like to say, Steve, give me 1 second here. I just wanted real quickly, congratulate these young men for their amazing, year, this season. They were 35-2 was their season record this year. That's just an amazing accomplishment. Their district record was 8-0. Home record was 18-1. Playoff record was 9-0. They had 16 shutouts. They scored 10 runs on more than 19 times. The 10-run rule was enforced 17 times. They scored 20-plus runs in 3 or more games. They scored 358 runs and allowed 58 with an average score of 10-1. They scored 110 runs and allowed 1 in district play with an average score of 14-0, including 7 shutouts. They scored 98 runs, allowed 20 in playoffs. They had an average score of 11-12. This is the 4th state title in program history. And as you said before, this year, Coach Chapman had his 1,200th win. He closed the season out with 1,215 wins, 271 losses, 5 ties for an 82% winning percentage. It's pretty good. And let's see, Coach Chapman also has 429 district wins, 20 district titles, 6 co-district titles, 2 zone titles, 35 years in the playoffs, 33 consecutive years in the playoffs, excluding 2020 for COVID. He's had 13 trips to the state tournament, and he has a 12-10 record at the state tournament. And his first career win, this is hard for me to say, occurred in March of 1983, 12-8 victory over Miller High School at Cabinets Field. And Mitch Shaw was the winning pitcher in relief of Stacy Sackey. Coach, congratulations on an amazing year.
And before you go speak, wait. Before you speak, I forgot, we have Congressman Cloud wants to recognize the state team too.
Yeah, we got to give honor where honor's due.
Yes.
Man, Cal Allen is a powerhouse. My gosh. The same speech, guys. We just want to congratulate your efforts today. Congressman Cloud, of course, he's up in D.C. or he'd be doing this himself. But I just wanted to, on behalf of a grateful district, District 27, we would just want to give you a special congressional recognition for Cal Allen High School Wildcats to commemorate your accomplishment. So we just celebrate with you guys. And again, Congressman will talk about you guys on the House floor to the nation. So I can't wait for that. And we'll send you the link when he does that. So congratulations, guys. Good work. Thanks, Coach.
Now, Coach.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank you for having us down here. You know, it's a special occasion whenever we get to come here. And so we really appreciate it. I also want to congratulate our girls on our three-peat. They did an outstanding job. And I can't say enough about my guys as far as how proud I am of them and what they have accomplished. And this year they started, you know, we came back last year after the state tournament, finishing second. And I think they started working on it the minute they got back. And it's a tribute to them and what the effort that they put in and the hard work and the dedication and commitment to our program that they did. And like I said, I couldn't be any more proud of any team that I've ever coached. And we're looking forward to next season already, and they're already starting to get prepared for that. So thanks for having us down here again, and appreciate everything.
I just want to say the same about our boys here. We are extremely proud of you. And how many are coming back next year on the baseball team? That's awesome. That's awesome. So we'll be seeing you here again next year. I'm very proud of Coach Chapman. He is a legend there in Cal Allen, and I think he's the winningest baseball coach in history in Texas or something by now. But he has made Cal Allen proud for many, many years, and we're very thankful to have you and all that you instill in these kids and bring them back and get them ready to go out into the world. And I hope that you listen, you learn, and you come back to this community as well in the future. So thank you for being here. I know it's taken time out of your summer day, and we appreciate y'all showing up and coming like you are, but we are extremely proud of you all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now we're going to try to take some photos, I believe, if we could get the girls to come up.
Quick thing, Coach Chapman, I want to endorse you for a pay raise as well, so I'll let you know. So your superintendent's here, I just wanted to
And we might have.
Motion for that?
We already did a
No,
motion.
I was telling Commissioner Buckley, you need a motion for that?
Oh, right.
Make a motion.
I get a whole bunch of authority over it. And have the girl back there. Have
No.
might have some, some have some shorter ones.
Oh.
I can tell you about
I'm in the middle. No, not yet. Next one. I'm in the middle. No, y'all switch. I'm in the middle. Well, looks like nothing. Just look at nothing to make sure. I'm so short. One, two, yeah. Yeah. Get down there. Oh, there. Where do we look? It's like, look at the screen. My head. Are you looking up? I'm not. Yes, look. You're in it. Wait, somebody. Like it. Ready? One, two. One, two, three. Yeah, nothing for theirs. Yeah. What's that? I did. One, two. Actually, just got a. Getting a drive out. Oh, but, I can't do the raw flow better thing, but I saw the streets. So I'm not. Are you here to cover?
Number 3. You say even.
I don't know. They said
Lisa's gonna like.
What's that? One, two. One more. One, two, and three. Thank you. Now we're gonna go outside and vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, yeah. You were at the court.
But, and then I also was. We visit them in DC quite often. You were very good. Yeah, what's your name? And I'm hearing more, I'm a field rep there. I know, I understand they're going to Thailand. End of the month. We're gonna miss them. That's what some of the days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna Thailand, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. On the other side of the world, and
I did bring mine. I don't have to worry about that. I always remember in the car, my developer partners.
Awesome.
Good to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll let her know that. Send me anything on this.
Yeah, of course. Probably.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Well taken care of. They're right.
So I was gonna get put off with my dad and, you know, I'm fishing.
I'll say, well, yeah, ever 100-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Additional to you guys. Go back and you drive. Go back.
I'm starting with this direction. My boss. And then I'm sorry.
I went for
He played, like a hitting on, catcher.
Oh, cool.
Okay, water shot.
Man, I can say it's
At one time.
faces.
He's a great,
Better related.
Played, like something, these people walk on and try to. But the coach, the catches, the big. And I said, you know, man.
Yeah.
It's where to play. Probably get out there because you don't actually have to be able to set the turn around. I'm long. Sure. Well, you can play that already. But now you got to.
Oh, yeah.
Big, I'm taking a little. We're saving, my daughter. No. I don't know.
Especially when you tell them.
A lot better. Well, Thank you. Yeah, take care, guys. I'll go downstairs.
How do they keep that? Had a giant part. That's crazy. Where was this out? Mayor Tech, wow. They were.
We're back. Sorry for the wait.
Don't go up the steps and talk. That's a good.
Yeah.
Audio right there.
Yes. I tried to take you there every day.
I mean, no, good.
Get our commissioners back. We can go ahead with this other one. We have three of us here. On item number 4, we're going to skip around until Commissioner Chesney gets back in here. Resolution in recognition of Juneteenth, Freedom Day, June 19th, 2025. And there, we just need to vote to pass. President Jeremy Coleman will not be here, so. No, he didn't. He asked for it. He just said for us to pass. Uh-huh.
Judge, I'm gonna do that same thing with London.
Yes,
I may bring him back later.
I waited till you got back in.
Thank
That's
you.
why we
Appreciate
skipped down. So I'll make the motion to pass. We have
Second.
a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Going back to item number 2, the same, a resolution in recognition of the London Pirates baseball team as the 2025 state champions and Class 3A Division I.
Thank you, Judge. I'm going to make a motion to pass that. I'm going to still try to get them to come back, but in case they can't, I can take it over there and have a passed resolution. So I'd like to go ahead and pass that today.
I'll second, or Commissioner Huxley seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimous. Well, 4 of us, one's out of the room. Item number 5, a resolution in recognition of Elder Abuse Awareness Month, June 2025. And Ms. Tara is here and going to read that one.
Whereas older adults and people with disabilities of diverse backgrounds contribute to the well-being of this city by working, caregiving, volunteering, and actively preserving customs, rituals, and traditions. And whereas as we age, we build momentum by accumulating knowledge, experience, insight, and wisdom that can be shared to enrich our community. And whereas abuse of older adults and people with disabilities is a community concern affecting thousands of people across Texas. And whereas there were 123,852 reports of abuse of older adults and people with disabilities in Texas in 2024. And whereas abuse against older adults and people with disabilities is grossly underreported because of social stigma, embarrassment, and fear. And whereas adult abuse affects men and women of all income and ability levels, all cultural and ethnic backgrounds in all communities. And whereas elder abuse is everyone's business, it's important to strengthen our efforts to prevent, report, and address elder abuse. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Commissioners Court of Nueces County does hereby proclaim the month of June 2025 to be Elder Abuse Awareness Month in Nueces County and urges all residents to work together to reduce abuse and neglect of older adults and people with disabilities. Duly adopted by vote of the Commissioners Court of Nueces County, Texas on this, the 11th day of June 2025.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioner Modas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously, and I believe we have some people here with DFPS. Jennifer, or anybody going to speak on this or was supposed to be here?
Jennifer wasn't able to make it.
She wasn't?
Brenda is gonna pinch it.
Perfect.
There's one team over there.
That works for us here as well, so thank you.
Good morning. I want to thank Judge Connie Scott and the commissioners. I also want to thank you guys for proclaiming June as Elderly Awareness Month here in Nueces County. 65 and older community is one of the fastest growing communities right now, populations. Older adults are vital, contributing members to our society and deserve the right to live free from abuse. Therefore, it is critical that we continue to raise awareness and take steps to prevent it in our communities. Elderly Abuse Awareness Month reminds us that elderly abuse impacts all of us and has no bias to gender, race, color, or income. Educating the public on this issue is what we need to do. If anybody does suspect any abuse, neglect, or exploitation of an older adult or an individual with disabilities, it is important to call our 24-hour hotline at 1-800-252-5400. APS does not do this alone. It takes partnerships, collaborations, and community in order for us to bring awareness to abuse, neglect, and exploitation. Thank you.
I think you did an excellent job stepping in for her, and 100% agree. We have a proclamation. Does any other commissioner wish to say? I mean, this is an easy one. We all believe that, we should protect the elders. Unfortunately, as you were reading that, it reminded me I'm fixing to be in that class. So thank you. It's not too far off.
Join the club.
Yeah. But we would love to take a picture with you guys as well. So
Join my
please
club.
come up.
That means nobody can yell at me anymore.
That's right. Yeah, or me. Once we get in there, we should have a sign on our thing.
Yeah.
Purple and go where? Thank you all very much. Thank you all for being here. Those are Miller colors. No, those are TCU colors. That's right. It's a matter of perspective. I don't know what color paint that. See her from. Thank you, Doug. So good. Here. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you all. Thank you. Thanks, John. Thank you all.
Yeah, I'm thinking about my old days here, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, don't say old. That's not.
I've been here a long time ago.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, it was great out there. I ran my quarter hall. It was good, it was good.
Just barely. You got the next one. Oh, what she did. I'll pass this out to everybody. If you leave it to Kate, she'll make a copy and give it to all the commissioners. And thank you so much. Thank you again for being here. Okay. Next up, we have item F1. And I believe Commissioner Husley and Commissioner Gonzalez, and we have our Emergency Operations Director D here to thank all the vendors that participated in the Nueces County Bishop ISD and City of Petronio Resource Information Center with the, do you want to talk about this with the straight line storms that came through and
Yes, ma'am. On May 8th, we had that straight line windstorm that hit that came from Alice all the way down to Driscoll area. It was 115-mile-an-hour winds that took out 500 power poles and closed about 16 county roads overnight. We've been working that diligently since. But we did want to say a big thank you because we had a lot of help with this. We had Come Dream, Come Build. They actually provide grants for people to repair roofs in parts of their homes. The Area on Aging was there from the Coastal Bend Council of Governments. We worked with the Coastal Bend Center for Independent Living, who assisted individuals with disabilities. We worked with REAL, the Rural Economic Assistance League, to get transportation to and from the Resource Information Center and also to provide transportation to the Disaster Assistance Center for the SBA in Alice. We worked with Texas Resource Advocates on how to provide access to local resources. Amistad Health was there to provide public assistance programs for healthcare. Coastal Bend Salvation Army provided disaster food boxes and homeless prevention methods. 211 was extremely helpful. Texas Division of Emergency Management, they also assisted us in doing ISTAT and PSTATs and doing damage assessments throughout the communities. American Red Cross was there to provide assistance. They provided a lot of food and tarps and all kinds of equipment. Frontier Waste Solutions, a huge thank you to them and to the judge for lining them up for us. So far, as of June 9th, they've removed 154 tons of materials from the neighborhoods. They've had 2,160 yards of debris removed, which is about 30 yards a truck. They've had 72 loads that they've brought to the landfill, which we wanted to thank the city of Corpus Christi because they did waive the fees for that. And they've provided over 165 hours of volunteer time to get these areas cleaned up. So we want to say a huge thank you to Frontier. Church Unlimited Westside Mission provided food, clothing. They provided showers to people in Petronia who didn't have the ability for that. The Corpus Christi Nueces County Public Health District was there. We worked very closely with the Nueces Electric Cooperative. Of course, like I said, there was 500 poles down and we wanted to get people up and running electricity wise as soon as possible. The Women's and Men's Health Services were there to provide free and low cost mobile health services. Endeavors was there. They help low income veterans and veterans families in supportive services. Nueces County Veterans and Social Services provided food boxes, clothing, hygiene products. The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Disaster Assessment and Recovery Team worked with us. And After the Storm for Christ also provided disaster relief and recovery ministry while we were there. So right now, we are at the tail end of it. Like I said, the governor was able to get the Small Business Administration to issue a declaration of disaster for Jim Wells. They met the threshold of 25 destroyed homes, and what that allowed was all the adjacent counties that were adjacent to Jim Wells were able to piggyback on that SBA disaster declaration. So all of the people in Nueces County that are affected are allowed to apply for that loan as well to help out. So, but we appreciate everybody's help. It takes a village sometimes, and it was a long cleanup, and it's probably going to take a lot more time to get it all cleaned up. But that's the latest we have on it.
Thank you. Thank you for that extensive list of everyone who came together, and I appreciate Commissioner Gonzalez and Commissioner Husley for being out there. And I think Commissioner Modas, you went out there. I'm sorry I wasn't able to go out there, but that's exactly what we do when something hits our community. People come together and we try to do the best we can to help them out. So,
I'd like to say a couple of things.
yes,
Jen.
please.
You know, I just want to say again to Dee, thank you very much for really jumping in there and just running with it and making sure things got done. But you know, it was, like you said, it took a village. And I want to thank, special thanks to the Nueces County Commissioners Court because with support, we probably wouldn't gotten started. So I want to thank you, Judge, also for helping us get started. And you know, and I think that short fuse was a very short fuse, but according to the short fuse, we did a lot for the short fuse. And this company's put everything down, these agencies put everything down to be able to be out there with us. And want to thank them from the bottom of our hearts. Also like to mention Adura, Banco, ICE, RTA, and Food Bank. We're also out there, you know, taking applications for the septic systems, explaining people about the floods, about the drainage. So they had a table out there that we had set up for them. Also, about Inland Parks, Public Works, the Veterans Office, and all other staff that had boots on the ground, man. I want to thank you so much. And Commissioner Pusley, I know that, you know, you're out there also, and I really appreciate you being out there, and Commissioner Modest, thank you for being out there also for showing up. And so, but anyway, we're not through yet. I don't think. You know, I met with Frontier this morning, and you know, we want to make one more round, and hopefully we can do what we're going to do, and we're working on some other things that we're going to be trying to. Hopefully, we can continue to do a little thing extra that we can probably help as much as we can. But I tell you what, Frontier, you're awesome. You came to bed when we needed you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And this court, the unanimous decision to do whatever we could, the entire court, there was no hesitation, do whatever we can, talk to our community, see what we could do. So while it ran through several members' precincts, the court all felt the same way about let's do what we can to help them. So.
Yeah, Your Honor, thank you very much. And you're absolutely correct. Mother Nature doesn't recognize precinct lines when it comes through. So it was a big impact to several areas in our community. And again, I want to thank Dee for all the help she provided and jumping in and taking charge of this. And Edward Herrera, Parks Director, who also helped put this together. But all the credit really goes to Commissioner Gonzalez and Sandra and his team for jumping in and putting this together almost overnight. So thank you very much. And to Zach, is Zach still here? Zach Simmons? Zach, thank you very much for everything that y'all did for us. It's an amazing effort, and we can't thank you enough for helping with that. So a big deal for our city and the city of Corpus Christi. Heather, please extend our thanks to Peter Zanoni and everybody there for their help on this. It was a team effort, and I think it made a big difference in the lives of some of our residents who their lives are challenged enough as it is, and to be able to step forward and help them is a big reward. And I want to thank everybody involved very much for their participation. So thank you.
Commissioner Modis.
Thanks, Judge. And you're right, Commissioner, it doesn't recognize political boundaries. It started in Jim Wells. And like most of us that night saw it slowly move through, and it devastated a lot of areas. If you drove to 665 especially, you could see a lot of the barns and buildings and structures out there out in the middle of fields just thrown out. But just a reminder too, as fast as we think this went, we know people were in need of services even faster. So I think this was a good dress rehearsal for us to prepare for that. We know we're always in emergency mode, and we do better, I think, than most communities. But a reminder too to our community, if you are able to make sure, as the federal government recommends, to have at least a 72-hour kit. That's essential to get you at least through the first 3 days of any emergency before the government can come in and kind of save you. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that is what the federal government has been promoting for years. So let us take responsibility also to make sure to do that. We know sometimes if you have no home left, what can you do? And so I think that that's one of the things of getting a quicker response. It's not to point blame, it's just as a reminder that we need to work faster. But this was an excellent event. Great, well-attended event, and we'll work to get these services out faster. We have a team who's been tried through many different emergencies already, and so just keep in mind to look out for your neighbors and your family to ensure that they have those essential needs for the first 72 hours at least. But we know sometimes it's not enough. But I think that the Commissioner Gonzalez, Commissioner Posley, that really were there throughout the entire event. Deserve a lot of praise and working hard to meet those needs. And thanks to all the corporate sponsors and all our governmental partners as well that stepped up to help.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate those of you that are here today too. So moving on, unless anyone else has anything to say, thank you very much. Item G, public comment. I have up to speak Lynn Allison. And you have 3 minutes. We can't comment or go back and forth, but thank you for being here.
Thank you, Judge, and good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Lynn Allison, 410 Miramar Place, Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm here in my capacity as your appointed CCRTA Board of Directors member. I am sorry I cannot stay for the presentation that we have coming up. I'm very proud of it. I serve in multiple capacities in my 3rd term on the board as the legislative chairwoman, the also recording board secretary. Wanted to just brief you. We've had a really, really busy year, several very vast initiatives. Want to thank my co-members on the board. We've had a great group of people. Director Munoz and I have made multiple trips to DC and to Austin with a very successive state legislative session. We have our Senate Bill 1371 sitting on the governor's desk for signature as of May the 22nd. Want to thank you, Judge Scott and Commissioner Matez, for your supporting letters to pass that through. I enjoyed visiting with Scott this morning from Congressman Cloud's office, who's my friend Congressman Cloud and my friend Mark Longoria, but I think they're running for me right now because I've got my hands out for money also to help build an operations center, maintenance center, which we desperately need. But kidding aside, we've had tremendous support from Congressman Cloud's office as well. Just really proud of that. Really proud of our connection service, starting in Port Aransas. We just reactivated the Route 95 on May the 23rd. Commissioner Pusley and Commissioner Gonzalez, we have active Calallen, Route 50 and Robstown North and South 34 and 35. And Commissioner Matez runs through my neighborhood. And if the paratransit bus runs by my bathroom window in the morning, I know they've beat me to the downtown area. So that's how I know I've not left the house early enough. Really want to thank you for allowing me to serve. I see I have a minute left. You're going to get a great briefing, but I'm very proud of our operations and our route our bus drivers, our route operators, because of the dignity they show our customer base. We have received some pushback from some of the local groups that are concerned about our architecture for our benches. We have a growing clientele base, and it's been no small task to reestablish that since COVID. We're there to serve and provide connectivity. So keep that in mind if you hear any concerns about our architecture on our benches. But again, thank you for your trust in me to serve on this board of directors. I'm really pleased working with my other board members and staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Moses Matsagashi for the London Tours. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good morning, Judge Scott, and good morning, commissioners. If I stutter, I'm a little cold. I was at a city hall council meeting for 10 hours and it was really hot in there and it's really cold in here this morning. So appreciate the time today. Here to talk about the TERS District number 7 in the London area. We've been working actively with the city of Corpus Christi. As everybody knows, the London area has a lot of different types of growth going on in the area. But the London area lacks a lot of infrastructure. Some of the things that y'all were just talking about with Mother Nature, septic systems, drainage, water. The London area is a vast area. We've been blessed to be able to develop in that area for a while. And what we're trying to do is bring a little bit more density, commercial, to the area. Quality of life really matters. As you start getting some homes in the area, you're going to need establishments for food. You're going to need parks. We're trying to work with the city to really relieve the area of as much septic systems as we can, because ultimately your half-acre lots will need a septic system. And with the establishment of this TERS, you're going to be bringing a lot of different density to the area, which is very important for the city of Corpus Christi and the Nueces County for growth. This TERS can ultimately spur anywhere between $500 million to $1.5 billion in the next 10 to 20 years. We've got shovel-ready projects currently that we've also been working at the same time while we've been talking to the city about a TERS. Right at the 286 County Road 20 area, which are county roads right now that are not fully established or fully developed or even fully paved. County Road 20A and County Road 22, if you call it County Road 43, is just a mud road. So there's parts of the London area that we've been working with the city and talking about how to establish proper growth in that area and try to take this area from being on a septic system and bring that quality of life aspect. So I hope in y'all's briefing that y'all can go through all the details that are presented and then reach back out to us to talk to us about what we can do to work with the county to bring orderly and really established developments to the London area. One benefit today I can say is with this rain, probably London ISD would have been closed. As they have closed in the past when it rains, their septic systems flood. They have to shut down the school because the bathrooms, don't work. We got London to annex into the city about 9 months ago because we left them a sewer line 4 years ago, which they utilized with their bond package just recently and tying in. And we're able to redo their football fields and provide actual bathrooms for the London community when they go watch those events at the school. So it's important to think about all the infrastructure and quality of life that'll be coming with this project, and also take in consideration that we'll be annexing a lot of these properties out of the county. And my time is up, and y'all have a great day.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak on public comment that did not have the opportunity to sign up? There being none, that ends public comment. Moving on to the consent agenda, item number 2. Are there any items in the consent agenda that any commissioner wishes to pull for further discussion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
There was one, sorry. I thought somebody else was going to pull it for clarification on, item CC, the resolution, and I just need JJ back in here for
Yeah, we need to
clarification.
pull that one. Sorry, I didn't know that
Yes,
was on.
sorry. Item CC,
CC?
J and CC.
So someone want to amend their motion?
I'll amend my motion to approve, all the consent agenda items except, CC and J, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, CC and J.
My second.
There, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. On item J, your, Commissioner Modis, you pulled that one, your question?
Hate to do this to Teresa, but if I have additional funds, I'd like to increase my amount for their day to approve a contract to extend to 5,000. If I have available funds, if I don't, then, or if there's any way that I can transfer anything, then let me know now.
You don't have those funds.
I don't have
Commissioner.
any, nothing at all. Okay, I tried.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but we got the 25, so
Yes, sir.
we're good for half. Good,
Yes, sir.
all right. Then a motion to approve, Judge.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. On item CC, adopt a resolution in support of Veterans Nursing Home in Robstown and related matters. I believe there was some questions about the matching funds that the county doesn't have. I thought this was just a resolution in favor of the state building a nursing home, but if there are matching funds, the county may have to potentially contribute. That brings it up to a.
No, Judge. So 65% of the construction cost is paid by the VA, the Veterans Administration. 35% of that is paid by the Veterans Land Board. There is no matching funds from Nueces County needed, period.
Only, so that we only need property, or is that a good?
Land is all we need, sir,
That's what we
25
need.
acres.
So that's gonna
If
be.
y'all
the
get
discussion.
approved.
We need the land before we push
Before we pass.
application.
Yeah,
What, we didn't even talk about.
Yeah.
This has never even come up before. I mean, as far as, so what land are we talking about?
well,
So we wanted to try to utilize the Robstown area, Commissioner, because it's a hub for the other rural communities. You have Claiborne County, Jim Wells County, San Patricio County. I mean, we want to make it accessible for every single veteran out there. And we felt it would actually provide for economic development in the Robstown area as well. So we're trying to use maybe the fairground area, if there's any land that the county has. We'd like to build in that area if possible.
but today we can just approve. Do we have to have the land decided by today? Or is it
No,
showing
sir.
our commitment?
It's just showing our
See,
commitment. Yes,
So
sir.
we can work the details out in
Absolutely.
the meeting.
Yes,
I
sir.
think that's the most important message for today.
Yes, sir.
Is that we stand up and say, we're for our veterans. We want to create better access to them.
What if he doesn't
We
have-
feel that Robstown's a good destination because it is at the crossroads of
Yes, sir.
major intersection. And so we don't want to lose out to the San Antonio area or to the Valley or somewhere else in the state.
Yes, sir. I want to put that out too. So we are in competition with San Antonio. If we don't move on this now, we won't get a nursing home for the next 10 to 15 years. And we, because of our relationship with the Texas Veterans Land Board, we operate and manage the Veterans Cemetery. They put us as a priority because we don't have access to a veterans nursing home within 2 hours of our location. So we are a priority. And
Is this going to be a deal where we have to run it like we had to take over the state's cemetery?
no, sir, absolutely not.
I mean, you've
It's
got enough.
state
to do.
operated.
Yeah, you
They
got enough to do.
operated, but the VA.
State funded building, state, no funding except for property.
No funding except for property.
Well, I read last night, it
It
kind
was
of,
not-
Yes, ma'am, I saw that.
yes.
And just to help educate more, I mean, that was kind of just the taste to get people interested in obviously the action that we're taking today.
Yes,
But
sir.
it's more of we need that commitment so you can know, is it even worth, or we can't even apply basically if we don't have a
Letters
commitment
of
to at
support.
least to try to
I
find some
I
land.
have one
Which
question.
we know we have an abundance of land in Nueces County because we provided a 20-page document just a couple of meetings ago with a lot of county properties.
Yes,
So-
sir.
I have
Okay.
I have a question. This is really the first time I hear about all this stuff. But you know, if we support it now and something happens, we can't do it. So what's gonna happen? We've made a commitment to support it. So when we get the application, and we apply for it, by that time, we have to make a commitment when we submit the application that we are gonna do it for sure. Because I don't wanna commit doing something if we're not gonna do it.
What's
The-
your
the-
time frame for the land commitment?
So we have to submit the application by April 2026, but we want to get ahead of it. We want to get ahead of it.
There's plenty of time.
So really, the only thing we're asking from Nueces County is land, Commissioner. That's all we're
I
asking.
understand that, Jay, and I don't mind giving you land for the veterans or something like that,
Yes, sir.
but we don't know where. I mean,
I understand,
I,
sir.
I think it's something we should have researched and had at least 3 or 4 areas that we could say this, or this.
And it's still possible, sir, but
Yeah.
because we want to make it accessible to the rural community,
Right.
we thought about
Believe
Robstown.
me, I'm a veteran, I support the veteran, but I think we should table this until we need more discussion, maybe.
Especially in light of, you don't have to have this till April 2026.
I'm gonna tell you what, you can go on,
So,
you can go on with it if you want, but.
no, it definitely caught me off guard when I. see that.
Understand.
And really, you should have maybe circulated this a little bit more, let us know what this, because it really I know it was in the packet, but it really caught me off guard seeing a story last night that wasn't even correct on the story.
Correct.
And I know that's not your fault, right? But it was like, wait a minute. I didn't know we were doing that. We're building it, the story was we're gonna build a nursing,
Yes, sir.
so, yeah, somehow this got ahead of us because, I think we're putting the cart before the horse if we don't know which piece of property we're gonna donate. We say we have all this land and Commissioner Modas is 100% correct. And I think Robstown is the best place for this, too, but I don't know where it is, what we're talking about.
The commitment though, Commissioner, is not for the land.
Well,
It's
but it
just
is.
your support.
No, but it is, JJ. I mean, you said it 4 times that we're gonna have to give the land. So yes.
Right, sir, but
We're saying today,
right now,
pass this resolution that we're committed
Committed
to giving
giving
land.
land
And I'm not
somewhere.
opposed to
Yeah.
that in any way, shape or form. I
Okay.
just don't want to commit to something before I know what land we're
Understand.
talking about, right? Because,
absolutely.
if we're talking about a piece of property that's, I just don't know. I mean, I have no clue. I know there's a ton of opportunities out in Robstown. There might be 6 or 8. And maybe we could just bring it back this afternoon if you want to bring me some proposals.
And we have time, Commissioner. Like I said, just,
I don't want to.
I think it'd be best to bring this back when we bring our properties back. We're gonna bring the properties back on another agenda probably in July, first meeting in July maybe or something. So let's get with my office before you post this again and we
Yes,
can
ma'am.
have those discussions at the same time when we all have a list.
Yeah.
And maybe in the meantime, you might have some meetings and let people know how much property you're talking about, how much land it is, because it's a little bit more than I first thought when you came to my office, because I was thinking 6 acres was fine, and you told me
20.
25 or
20.
20 or something.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yes,
Yeah, I mean, so we really gotta,
yeah.
It's a great idea, but
I mean, yeah, this is cart before the
Yeah.
horse for sure. We
Understand, sir.
we have, as a court, been unanimous in supporting veterans.
I agree, sir.
We took that Texas State Cemetery over for them. You've done a great job with that.
Thank you, sir.
That was a lot of work and effort on our part. We all fund veterans organizations. We all are super involved in this. So in no way, shape or form do I want another story to be improperly put out there.
Understand.
This is not that we want to do it. We are in favor of, I'm not speaking for everyone. I think the court's going to be in favor of doing something, but I don't know what to vote for because you're telling me by passing this resolution, we 100% have to commit land to do this. Okay, but what? Which land?
Understand.
Let's look at that. We're going to need to get it. If it's in the city of Robstown, we need to talk to the city of Robstown and say, are you okay with this? We need to get input from our partners and our neighbors.
Yes, sir.
When you tell me April 26th is the time, that makes me feel better. I know you want to get ahead of it and I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I think we just need to have a really, here's what we're voting for, not just a resolution with some land somewhere in mystery.
Yes, sir. Understand.
Let's talk about it.
Driscoll could be a bishop.
Well,
Yeah, it could be
this is,
Driscoll, could be Bishop,
this
could
is
be
step
Kingsville,
one.
could be, not Kingsville,
Yeah.
sorry, it could be Robstown, could be Agua Dulce. I don't know until you
I
bring
will
us
make
that
the
land.
motion to bring this back to the first meeting in July with our land discussions.
Could I say something before we make a motion?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Just trying to get us out of a discussion that's going nowhere.
It's the only thing I miss about the city is I don't have a button to push to, I need one of those little flags like they used to have at
Yes.
Ponchos, so. Maybe what we could do, for this meeting, so that, the press doesn't misconstrue our intent here. is, and we could bring this back at a later time in the meeting, is just adopt a resolution in support of a veterans nursing home, period. And then we can.
That's what we need, because I say the exact same thing. By you saying you don't want to get the wrong attention, you already are by saying what you are with the media here. Come on. This is non-binding. This does not do anything other than saying we are committed early. Let's make a definitive statement now. We can work out the details later. My gosh, how many times have we done that on projects that we have no details at all, but we blindly accept and trust the work that a commissioner or staff has done to jump right into it full, both feet into the ground.
No, I've
So-
never done that. I've
so-
never blindly agreed, John, come on. All I'm saying is,
Well,
if you
then
want
you
to
can vote against it. All this is today
say we support
is just
it,
to
let's
say
make
we
a
support it. Let's move
A
forward.
resolution that says that we support it.
We support it.
And that's what this resolution is.
Not
It doesn't
gonna
include
give us
any
the
land
money
in it.
or anything.
Doesn't talk about our
Right.
commitment
we
or
need
any
to-
cost to us.
No, ma'am.
any-
Yeah, but it does. This resolution does say, you're saying it, we have to give land or this doesn't work. So all I'm saying is let's pass a motion that says we support the concept and let's bring it back with specificity the first weekend in July.
Yeah.
I 100% support the concept.
And that's what we want,
And if you
Commissioner.
need an affirmative motion that says so, then make that affirmative motion, but let's bring it back with the specificity that's required, which is what land is there? Because
We approve today and we come back in July
I support
and we
the
have a
concept.
list of land.
100%.
Can I
That's step two. This is step one.
Can I just say where we got here, so how we got here? So we reached out to the Veterans Land Board, sir. And they asked us to actually reach out to our local delegation to get letters of support so that they know that we're serious about wanting a nursing home here in Nueces County. That's essentially all we asked for. Letters of support to make sure that, yes, our leadership wants this here.
There's a possibility.
That's all we want at
JJ,
this
but I'm
point.
gonna say again, you should have brought this to us, man. I mean, just to put it on the agenda like this, no offense, man, but you're really making us look bad. I mean, this is hard because you're making us vote for something that you're saying we 100% have to give land. We have no clue where that land is. And if we don't vote for it, as Commissioner Modis says, we look like we don't support veterans. So you've put us in a bad spot. And I'm just gonna call this like it is. In my opinion, and I'm not speaking for anybody but me, if you'd have come and said, hey, man, I need to talk to you about this, but you didn't reach out to me on this one thing. This is a big deal. We want to do this, but to come in here and make it like it's a double negative, if you say it the wrong way. So I'm all for putting a motion out there that says we support this concept, but I think we've got to have specificity to show the public what we're doing, because I don't even think it's posted the right way, because you say it's just a resolution, but you're saying the resolution has to have land. That's not in the agenda. How do we tell the public what we're doing? We think we're going to do it in Robstown. Well, we're not sure because there might be other land. So I'm all for an affirmative motion, but we've got to bring it back with some specificity.
Understand, sir, and I'll take
I'm
that.
100% for this. So the media's got my camera on. I'm 100% for this, but I need some specificity and some background on this. And you should have put some land proposals on here. I mean, this was your item. You could have put, here are the recommended land that we look at. We could have looked at that. We could have put it on the screen. We don't blindly just do things without the appropriate backup. If you wouldn't have said we had to have land, I probably would have been okay with the resolution. But now you're telling me the only way this works is we have to donate land.
Well, but
We
the
don't
land
even
can
have
come from
specific-
anywhere, Commissioner. It doesn't have to come from Nueces County. It doesn't have to come from Nueces County.
But okay, now that's different than what you just said 10 minutes
Yeah.
ago. You
I'm just, so like I said, the resolution was put on here because the state wanted, okay, leadership's on board with even bringing it here. That's all they want. They want letters of support.
But
That's essentially where the resolution came from.
I'd just like to make a motion that we support the concept.
That'd be
Someday-
perfect, sir.
Someday we can maybe have a veterans, home here.
100%.
That's it.
Your Honor,
If you read the resolution, it only says that. It doesn't say anything about
There's no
any
land.
other commitment. I mean, and if what you're saying, and which I know in our conversations, because you reached out asking if any other entities had property that we could maybe contact that they would be willing to
Yes, ma'am.
donate. But last night's media coverage
I
had
understand.
everything kind of twisted.
Yes.
those, like, this is like a letter of support of y'all applying for a new Robstown to get.
So we
this
don't need, Your Honor, so we don't need to make any modifications to the resolution that's attached.
If you read it, it doesn't say anything
Doesn't say
about
anything.
Nueces County donating land, having anything to do with land. It's just basically like a letter that we support other organizations when they apply for grants or something.
If that's the case, then we don't need to postpone it. I would go back to what I was originally going to say is I would like to make a motion that we adopt this attached resolution in support of a veterans nursing home.
Second.
Period.
Yes, and that would be very simple.
Can we
And
just
that,
say bring it back with specificity in July?
we'll bring it back in July.
I think we know that,
We'll
Brent.
have that discussion in July if we want to potentially have a property that we could consider. If we don't, then we'll be asking other entities for property. So I think we will discuss that when we discuss our property in July. Yes.
And Commissioner, I will reach out to you, sir, just to give you background and fill you in. But again,
Perfect.
I do take this on full force.
Well, yeah, I got it now. I'm okay now. I've got the background
Okay.
now.
There's more to it, sir.
Okay.
We
Please show me
have
what you got.
a
That'd be
Yes, sir.
great.
motion and a second. Any further discussion? Constance, you have something to add? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes, ma'am. With the resolution that's attached, maybe we could just remove all references to Robstown and just leave it
It's
Nueces
good.
County.
That's a valid point because it may not
That's
just be.
fine.
May
Robstown.
not be Robstown if we get property somewhere else. So
That's
if we could change that, just, this county.
Yes, ma'am.
We would,
Whereas
we
that's
think,
a good point.
yeah.
Whereas we
I'll
can
make
say
that-
motion.
I'll make that a part of my motion that the resolution should strike all references to any city and just stick to the point that we
Nueces County.
are supporting
Nueces County.
the concept of a veterans nursing home. here
In Nueces
Nueces
County area.
Man,
Yes,
do
Yeah.
I need to second that since I seconded the
Yes.
original?
Yes.
Yeah.
Second, okay.
So we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously.
Glad you're a tough Marine, JJ.
Yes.
We're up here anyway, sir. Thank you, Judge and Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right.
But that's an oxymoron, tough Marine, right? Like, aren't they all right?
Yes, sir.
You try to low crawl in this one.
Well, yes, sir. I was shooting from the hip. Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge and Commissioners.
Thank you. Moving on to our regular agenda now. I'm sorry, everything started late. We apologize to all of you sitting here this morning. We had some technical difficulties as well. Item A, we have a presentation from the Corpus Christi RTA on the 2024 year in review. And Derek Majak, I believe you're going to do that. I think they have a video or some slides they're going to show.
Do we have a few slides and then a few videos I want to show you. So I'll keep this short. First, I want to thank you, Judge, and the Commissioners Court for everything that you do for our community and for your continued support for everything that we do here. So, first slide.
First slide.
Yes, it's
Connie, thank you. I think somebody else was going to be running this one. It was going to be kind of crazy.
all right. There we go. And that, so we do operate fixed route paratransit, van pool, and rural services across 10 of our communities here. What I really wanted to highlight is that we cover about 846 square miles. So if you compare that, DART covers about 700 and some square miles. Or as Representative Cloud has mentioned more than once, the agency in DC, WMATA, has to cover about 70 square miles to worry about. So we cover a significant area, have a significant area of responsibility, just like the county here does. And we have about 1,375 bus stops, and we do all of that with about 340 both employees and contractors. And then the next slide, I really just wanted to again show the appreciation for our board of directors and the support they always give us. And I want to recognize our board chair, Arthur Granado, vice chair, Ana Jimenez, Secretary Allison, who is here, Director Munoz. And we also had a couple of other directors that were able to stop through here, but had to leave early. But wouldn't be able to do any of this without their support. And okay, sorry. All right, just highlights, our system connects to jobs, education, healthcare, and essential services throughout our community. The American Public Transit Association does many studies, and basically $1 invested in transit generates about $5 in economic returns, and 90% of our trips generate the local economy. I mean, most of our people that are riding our bus are workers that are going there to provide services to our community. Next slide. And with that, I'd like to show our year in review, which will do most of the work for us and highlight everything that we've accomplished over this last year.
I'm Derek Majak, the CEO of the Corpus Christi Regional Transportation Authority, coming to you from our beautiful new Port Air Station on the west side of Corpus Christi. As I walk through Port Air Station today, I'm reminded of the vital role CCRTA plays in this community. Every bus we operate represents more than just a ride, it's a connection to jobs, medical care, education, and essential services. For so many, these connections are not a convenience, but a necessity. And it's this responsibility that drives everything we do at CCRTA. People who depend on our buses are the backbone of Corpus Christi's economy and its vibrant, growing community.
With support from the Board of Directors, CCRTA works closely with dedicated civic leaders to improve transportation and help strengthen shared communities.
In 2024, CCRTA successfully secured funding for 8 new buses, which will improve connectivity for Texans across nearly 850 square miles of the coastal bend.
By working together with its partners, CCRTA provides access to shelters during extreme temperatures and emergency evacuations during a crisis.
The partnership between the City of Corpus Christi and CCRTA has been critical in ensuring that our most vulnerable residents, our senior citizens, individuals with disabilities, and those without personal transportation have access to safe and reliable evacuation services during times of crisis. This collaboration strengthens our city's overall emergency response, and it reinforces our commitment to leaving absolutely no one behind in times of need.
2024 was a year of progress for CCRTA. Here are some of our highlights.
CCRTA prioritizes the safety and security of its customers, employees, and guests. In 2024, the agency received national recognition from the American Public Transportation Association, APTA, with gold awards for both emergency management and bus security. The award-winning Know the Signs campaign enhanced human trafficking awareness through advertisements on buses and bus benches, as well as through digital and social media. This initiative included internal training for staff, leadership, and the board, plus a human trafficking summit with national guest speakers.
Now, a lot of people are not aware that there is human trafficking going on in this community, but it is. So when we educate our customers that utilize our system in the thousands, those are going to be great individuals that can see something, say something, and report that to us.
CCRTA's active shooter training, nationally recognized by APTA, provided crucial instruction to employees, tenants, and community stakeholders in partnership with local law enforcement, addressing the rise in such incidents nationwide.
This kind of training is vital. Your staff, it is a very important component to the safety of those folks that you serve and to other staff during a critical incident.
CCRTA's collision rate significantly decreased from 1.71 in 2023 to 1.26 in 2024, marking a 26.3% reduction.
The Corpus Christi Regional Transportation Authority has been recognized for their levels of safety in transportation. Receiving accolades for safety speaks volumes for the CCRTA, and we're very proud to have a partner who cares about safety as a priority, just as we do.
Last summer, CCRTA completed construction and held a grand opening for its second most popular transfer station, the Port Ayers Transfer Station. The transfer station provides a safer transit hub equipped with modern technology and amenities. The new transfer station was primarily funded through FTA's 5339B, competitive grants for buses and bus facilities program with support from local, regional, and federal stakeholders. In 2024, CCRTA continued to work towards its mission of providing riders with safe, accessible, convenient, and sustainable transportation solutions that unite communities and promote local economic growth. CCRTA ridership saw an approximate growth of 12%, serving an estimated 3.7 million rides for the year. The organization also expanded service on its high-demand routes, responding to customer needs throughout the service area.
We've called in the past, when we've opened up shelters, we always call and there's always a yes. I don't believe there's ever been a time when that reach wasn't answered with an absolute yes. What can we do to help? We partnership with Robstown and everything. The county shelter has been more out in the underdeveloped areas, which is also a lot harder for people to get to. So that partnership with the transportation to our events has really, I'd have to say, saved lives. It's been that important to this community.
CCRTA's shelter expansion program has added more than 415 new Toller shelters equipped with solar lighting, ensuring that nearly 45% of bus stops now offer protection from the elements and improve accessibility. This initiative not only enhances rider comfort and safety, but also increases ADA accessibility to more than 61% of all CCRTA stops. CCRTA is dedicated to embracing future generations, educating and improving ridership by providing free rides to all pre-K through 12th grade students.
Our students ride for free across all of CCISD, a big city, big school district. We have over 50 schools, different levels. And so to help the families feel that support and to kind of get rid of that worry and that pressure a lot of times, the district is benefiting greatly.
In 2024, CCRTA partnered with Corpus Christi Independent School District's CTE program, educating the next generation.
CCRTA has provided them with projects such as being able to film a commercial for Buck Stadium, design bus benches, and they've also offered field trips to our students to be able to see what their graphic designers, audio video people do on a regular basis, as well as see the operations of all of their transportation facilities.
Through CCRTA's partnerships with area schools, colleges, and universities, almost 500,000 rides were provided to students in 2024, reducing a significant barrier to education.
At TAMU-CC, I was able to use my ID to go to the mall, hang out with friends, and then go to Art Walk as well using the bus transportation. I use the bus to get to work every day and also come back home. It's still very convenient using it and helping me save money to save for a car.
In addition to fare-free ridership agreements with Del Mar College and Texas A&M University Corpus Christi, CCRTA also provides shuttles to community events and basketball games at the American Bank Center.
We now have a CCRTA shuttle. So we're taking students downtown. They're saving money. Having students there go use our shuttle and go to campus, they're saving on that parking. They're not worried. It's a great program for our students to use.
Public relations is vital at CCRTA, driving awareness and engagement through outreach events, press conferences, and news stories. These efforts earned more than $3.3 million in media value for 2024. In 2024, CCRTA also introduced new branding, a fresh color scheme, and new brand ambassadors, the Transit Triplets, Rider, Trip, and Axle. CCRTA has also promoted transit accessibility to various community events. CCRTA is dedicated to improving the rider experience by using feedback from surveys, customer service inquiries, and the long-range system plan. These efforts demonstrate CCRTA's commitment to providing a seamless, reliable, and customer-focused transit experience across the service region.
It's just really hard to get back and forth from Port Aransas with the obstacle of transportation out of the way. That really makes a big difference in getting employees to and from work in an easy and reliable way.
In July, the FTA announced that CCRTA had been awarded $5.88 million in competitive federal funding through the Low or No Emission Grant Program. This funding will enable CCRTA to replace aging diesel buses with 8 low-emission CNG buses and provide modern training equipment to build a workforce for the future.
We got to check the tires, make sure it's running good, make sure you got a good running vehicle to get to point A to point B and back to A, get people where they need to go safely and soundly.
CCRTA leverages advanced technology, including real-time bus tracking, mobile fare payment, and automated vehicle location systems to provide riders with up-to-date transit information, improved reliability, and a more convenient travel experience. In 2024, CCRTA worked with Equans to successfully implement CAD, AVL, and APC technology within its buses. These technology-driven improvements modernize CCRTA's transit infrastructure and enhance the rider experience.
At a point, I had, no service on my phone, and I would always connect to the Wi-Fi when I had an opportunity because that's the only way I could check my messages, play my games, or download something before I get home. And it just helped me out so many times when I needed it.
Human Resources proudly supports a dedicated workforce of more than 350 employees and contractors by offering excellent benefits, including paid CDL training, tuition reimbursement, and more.
I'm almost 62 years old, so those benefits are essential for someone my age.
The benefits here at the CCRTA, my family really counts on those. With little ones, I'm able to go and seek medical care.
CCRTA also celebrates its workforce on special holidays and through monthly employee appreciation events. Financial transparency and a balanced budget are vital to CCRTA as a public agency to ensure responsible stewardship of taxpayer funds and to maintain the trust of the communities served. CCRTA maintained a balanced budget of $67.55 million in 2024. CCRTA's commitment to accountability has earned national recognition from the GFOA for distinguished budget presentation and financial transparency, reflecting our dedication to fiscal excellence. CCRTA's Street Improvements Program contributed more than $3.1 million to the city of Corpus Christi and a total of $3.44 million to its entire service area, including rural stakeholders.
At CCRTA, our commitment has always been to the people we serve and to the incredible team standing here with me. Our riders are more than passengers. They are the driving force of this community. And our employees, they are the backbone that makes it all happen. As we step into 2025, we remain dedicated to connecting Nueces and San Patricio County, expanding opportunities, and enriching the lives of those who call it home. Thank you for being part of our journey. We look forward to serving you in the year ahead. I do have to say thank you to Rita here and her marketing team for doing excellent work on this video here. And as part of that, one of the things that we're really proud of is our partnership with our area schools. I mean, we have agreements with Del Mar and Texas A&M, Corpus Christi for free rides, but we began offering free rides to our kindergarten through 12th grade students. And now, any given day, we have 20 to 25% of our ridership are students during the daytime. And one of the special projects that we started this last year was working with CCISD to try to get the students to produce their own video and work with them and help groom them, because these are things that we've heard kind of from our partners at MDR and at the university as the better prepared we can have our high school students, the better the community will be entirely. And if we could, we have a small video. It's actually produced by the CCISD's audiovisual department, and they have it posted online, and they've been showing it at Buck Stadium as well.
Students, did you hear the news? CCRTA buses are completely free for you. Why pay when you can ride for free? Plus, we make it even easier with the GoPass app. Plan your route, check schedules, and never miss a ride, all from your phone. Download GoPass today.
simple, but I think it's great to see our high school students doing this kind of work, and that we're going to work at expanding some programs like this out to some of our other high schools over this next coming year. This was kind of a pilot project to get our feet started, and now we're going to start talking to some of the other ones about, helping us out and working with us on some similar projects. Obviously, something else that's very unique to us is our emergency response, capabilities and the necessity in an area like this, as the Commissioner's Court has already discussed. So an item that Secretary Allison had addressed that we're working hard towards is achieving a funding for our maintenance, to replace our maintenance shop. It's about a 50-year-old structure, meets no windstorm standards. They didn't exist back then. So trying to have something with continuous operation before, during, and after emergency. Plus, we have a facility that has some aging equipment, and by all means, it's all repairable. But why spend millions of dollars, replacing vehicle lifts and things like this when you know that you're going to need a new facility at some point in time? So we've been working very hard on that, and we have a very short clip to show you of that rendering that our architect has come up with so far. This is the grant opportunity did come out for this recently, so we will be reaching out for our community partners for letters of support as we finalize the grant opportunity, the paperwork for all of that. And so this is a very big project. It will be the largest that RTA's ever done, should we receive the funding for it. And I also did want to highlight that the buses that you've seen here, the new buses, our first new buses in 8 years, have arrived in that with the new color scheme in there. So you'll be getting an invite shortly, in that we're going to have a little kind of revealing at our Staple Street station, and possibly even some rides on that new bus to show the new technologies that the bus have. So our marketing department and Rita will be getting something out to you shortly on that. And that, again, I just want to say thank you for your continued support of everything doing. I look forward to working with all of you, in the future, and helping serve our community better.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you to the board members who are here. We appreciate y'all showing up this morning as well, and everything you do for our community. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So Derek, you're partially in San Patricio County? You service part of it?
Gregory is part of our service area, so we do have them service, and we go through parts of it because of our the service that we have that goes through Port Aransas, through Ingleside and Aransas Pass there. So we do have an agreement to allow us to operate through there, but Gregory is one of our tax-paying, community members.
So is there another transit system that serves everything else in San Patricio County?
Because of the way that the MPOs and the census and UZA is drawn, and that Real does provide service in parts of San Patricio County, so the Rural Economic Assistance League.
Gotcha. And then I saw somewhere that y'all are planning to do a park and ride for a project in Clayburgh County?
Judge Madrid has reached out to us about a future project, but we want to be partners with them, but obviously there's a funding mechanism that we'll have to work through with the judge and, the state possibly, or the private entity that's looking at putting in the facility out there, because the entrance is on Nueces County's side, so of the line.
So it just captured, it caught me when you gave that statistic on this square miles.
Oh yeah, that would add a lot.
Cover compared to, where was it, DC metro area, I guess?
Yes.
That's a big difference. And so, we see your brand everywhere. I love the B. I think it should be A. A is you want to get an A in school, don't you, right? I don't know if you want to get a B. I'm just kidding. I've said that over the years, but the B bus, I love the new color scheme, the work that you've done, your chairman, your board, I think have been one of the most engaged that I have seen and paid attention to over the last 20 years. The funding, the lobbying, the efforts that they put in, very professional group, and your staff. The marketing, the PR team does an excellent job with social media, keeping the community updated. I know when we've had weather events that they do all they can to try to update the community, and sometimes events are happening faster than you can even keep up by just clicking and typing it into a phone or mobile device. But nevertheless, y'all are doing a lot to stay connected to the county, especially when the judge has to order some sort of special emergency declaration. So I want to thank you all on that partnership as well. So keep up the great work. Y'all are doing good efforts on the state and the national level. And so let us know what we continue to do to support you. I think one of that is by the appointments that we make, and I think we've done a good job with that so far.
Absolutely. And I have to say, I've blessed both great staff and probably the best board that I've seen since I've been here. So they've been incredibly supportive and they're a big asset to everything we do.
I think your chairman wants to say a word or two.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioner.
Except for the chair.
Yeah.
Everyone else.
I don't want to take up much of your time, of course, but here I am taking up your time. Yeah, and I paid Derek $20 to say that about this board. But just so you know, our purpose, of course, is to move people from point A to point B as efficiently and safety as we can. And obviously, Judge, you've served on this board itself, so you understand the role that we play. And of course, as you said earlier, we'll always be here for whatever situation that may be, anything, hurricane preparedness, whenever we can provide our buses to move people from any place it needed to be, we'll be there for you guys. And also want to point out that your appointments to this board that you have right now are exceptional. They've done a great job. I don't want to, well, I guess I will brag because I can assure you that the potential funding that we have coming down is probably going to be the largest amount that's probably ever been given by the federal government. And then that is basically because of the board members that you have appointed to that. Very, very good board members. I know they're here and I know their appointment comes up. I'm not going to, well, I guess I will advocate for you for those reappointments because without those individuals there, we're in the middle of actually trying to get about $50 million. We've gotten some bills that were passed in Austin that on the governor's desk, whether he signs it or not, we have until I think the 20th or the 22nd before it officially becomes law. And without those individuals going to Austin, it wouldn't have been passed. And people don't really understand the role sometimes they play. They have families, as you have families, they have jobs, and yet they'll take the time off in a heartbeat to go up to Austin or go to DC to take care of those issues that need to be taken care of. So I just want to point out what your appointees actually do on that board. It's not just rubber stamping or just doing things, but they engage heavily in this community and they have buy-in to the community. And without them, I can honestly say I don't think we'd be in this position to get around $50 million from the federal government to build that maintenance facility or even get those buses we talked about earlier, because it was those individuals that went up to DC and got about a $7 million grant to buy those additional, I think, 8 or 10 buses that we had. So again, I'm advocating for them, and anything else you need on our behalf of this Corpus Christi Regional Transportation Authority, we're always going to be here for you. Thank you for your time.
Great job. Thank you very much. We appreciate y'all being here.
Good job. Thank you.
Moving on to item number 2, I think we have Joel Romo and Patricia Shipton hopefully are still on. We're running so far behind today. I receive an update on the legislative items for the 89th legislative session and all related matters. Take action if necessary.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Judge and Commissioner.
How are you, Patricia?
Good morning. How are y'all?
We're good. Thank you. You can go ahead and take over. I'm sorry y'all had to wait so long. We kind of got held up this morning, so we're running behind.
Okay.
That's great. Well, we've got a PowerPoint that we are going to go through with you. And just an FYI, Patricia and I are still working on putting together a written report for you, for the court that we'll get. We're waiting for the governor's veto period.
Your sound is not very loud. Joel, can you turn up your sound or speak into there? Or is there something not on our end, Connie, that you can change? That we can barely hear him.
Is this better?
No.
Okay.
Maybe it's our end. Here we go. She's got it, maybe.
How about now?
It's better. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
We'll get started, but we do want to share with you that we're preparing a written report that we will send to you after the governor's veto period. We want to capture, on behalf of the county, we've tracked a little over 500 pieces of legislation this session. We're here today just to give you a few of the highlights, answer some questions, and then kind of give you an idea of what's coming at you in terms of legislation. So We'll both go into the next slide, please, regarding some of the data. So, over 8,700 pieces of legislation filed this session, probably it was the highest since 1991. Very low passage rate. I think that was a combination of a lot of new freshmen, a lot of changeover in committees in the House. It took them a while to get organized. A lot of negotiations. We saw a lot of bills move at the very end of session after the Senate got a few of their priorities out of the House. Usually the passage rate of bills in the legislature is about 20%. So as you can see, there was 7% law and bills being filed. That could be good for some folks, could be bad for those that are trying to get things done. There were over 1,300 bills and joint resolutions that have gone to the governor's desk or that will be on the November ballot. And as mentioned earlier, the governor has until June 22nd to sign, veto, or allow some of these bills to become law. If we can go to the next slide, and Patricia, I'll kick it over to you.
Okay. Well, as y'all know, and we so appreciate your help, House Bill 3093 by our Representative Villalobos was our priority bill this session. This was an effort to correct the appraisal tax rate, appraisal appeal process that had put Nueces County in such a bind over the last couple of years. Obviously, y'all are well aware that this is something we've been working on for 2 sessions with y'all, as a couple of special sessions through the interim, and then this session. We felt like we got the language in really good shape and had an excellent team effort. We worked hard at really giving a lot of input and just educating legislators. And so that was a huge success. And we are so grateful for all of our delegation, but particularly Representative Villalobos and Senator Chuy Hinojosa, who went above and beyond in helping us with that bill. That was a great success. And it is effective immediately. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, can you explain real quickly what that is going to do so that people who are listening understand?
Yes, sir. It provides for coastal communities, so it's specific to the coast. It provides an opportunity for the appraisal, for the tax assessor collector to take a portion of the appraisals, a percentage of the appraisals, and use that for the truth in taxation for setting the effective tax rate. And that way, when inevitably or in the event that some of our highest industrial taxpayers choose to appeal, which they often do, that's what history has taught us, they have the right to appeal. Nobody has in any way affected that, but it doesn't adversely affect the county in setting their truth in taxation rate so that the county can set their budget and move forward.
And we also want to give Kevin Kieschnick some gratitude for his help with drafting the legislation. We met numerous times with he and members of the Association of Counties, the tax assessor folks, Senator Betcourt's office. I can't tell you how many drafts of this bill we went through to get it to where we were able to get it passed out of the House, about 141 to 1.
Yes,
and same with the Senate. On the Senate, it went to the local non-contested counter. I think it was due to everybody understanding the issue, everybody working the legislature over the last 2 years, and Kevin kind of being the expert on tax issues, helping us move the needle with the Representative Villalobos 100%.
Yes, very grateful for Kevin's work. Absolutely. House Bill 2 was the big education funding priority this session, priority of the governors, priority of the lieutenant governor and the Speaker of the House. It was an agreed to bill, but Representative Todd Hunter, Chairman Todd Hunter, was instrumental in securing a $100 million offset for regional entities, coastal communities again, for their high cost of insurance. And so this was a big win for coastal communities as well.
And I understand Tricia, could I just catch up before we go into too much detail about this? Can you highlight the county issues? Because we're already running way far behind, and we can, if you could just go through and kind of highlight our.
Joel, you go through, Joel, and because you know the format, Joel, just hit the highlights and then really, Judge, a lot of what we did was bad bills that didn't get passed. And so that's go ahead, Joel.
Sure.
We have this presentation now that we can email to all the commissioners for them to see, because we have a couple of them out. So thank you. But if y'all could kind of speed this up, we had technical difficulties and we're really behind today. I apologize.
The next one is on slide 4, dealing with Senate Bill 1967. We kind of gave you a highlight on this coming fruition. It has been passed by both chambers and effective immediately. This is a bill by Senator Hinojosa that relates to eligible projects for financial assistance for flood infrastructure from the Flood Infrastructure Fund at the Texas Water Development Board. There was some language that was added on the House floor that includes loans for projects that includes supplying water and wastewater services in economically distressed areas or non-border colonias. You know, I know we have been talking to Commissioner Gonzalez and others about trying to get some resources. So there will be funding through the Water Development Board for these projects. Obviously, we go through the rulemaking to talk through those, you know, as we go through the process with the agency. The next slide highlights some funds that were secured thanks to, I know, Commissioner Modes and others that led the efforts on working with Representative Villalobos, $4 million for the Nueces County Drainage District number 2, $16 million that she was able to secure for the Mary Roads pipeline to increase water capacity, and $30 million secured for water wells drilled along the Nueces River. So it was a great session for water, particularly for Nueces County, and you know we want to give thank Representative Villalobos for the work.
And honestly, Judge and Commissioners, I mean, we have had the opportunity to present to y'all a couple of times right before the end of session, especially as things were getting so hectic there at the end, and we felt like we were playing whack-a-mole on a lot of bills. I know y'all are pressed for time. Is there anything that y'all were curious about, or we just needed a follow-up? I think this is an excellent PowerPoint. As Joel mentioned to you, we would like to get you a better fleshed out report with all the things and all the loose ends that we feel like we were helpful in making sure didn't get passed. And so you've got the great highlights here. Is there anything we can answer for y'all just in an effort to give y'all back some of your time?
I appreciate that very much, but I think Scott Cross is in the back. He maybe has a question.
Yes. Did we have any success with getting any funding and increase in the beach maintenance reimbursement program we participate in with the GLO?
So I've got a call into the commissioner's office. There were various funds added to the coastal erosion projects in the GLO's budget, and we're still trying to decipher what that means for Nueces County. We can circle back with you on that. I just texted her legislative director yesterday afternoon and try to get a clarification on that.
Okay,
and Scott,
that'd be great.
That budget was just certified.
Yes.
That budget was just certified by the comptroller yesterday, so it just hit the governor's desk today. He will have an opportunity to go through and review the different funding mechanisms. So we will, again, nothing's finished till he's finished, but we'll have till the 22nd to ensure that all of those are actually in place and do get passed.
Commissioner Huxley, do you have any other questions about anything? We'll take the slides, and then if any commissioner has any questions, they all have your emails they can ask about. And once you finalize your updates and send us that will probably be all the information we need. So I appreciate you cutting it short. Sorry to cut you off, but it has been a morning already with time constraints and a lot of things on the agenda. So we appreciate it. And let me just say, you both did an amazing job for Nueces County this session. I really appreciate you both and all the hard work, and rely on you both. You stayed in constant contact with me. I went to Austin several times and had great trips and great meetings and got in front of people that most likely wouldn't have been able to get in front of on such short notice. So thank you. We appreciate you, and excellent job this session.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate y'all.
No other questions, and we'll move on to item number 3, receive an update from the city of Corpus Christi on tax increment reinvestment zone number 6, the Barisi Village. Discuss, consider, and take action if necessary, and all related matters. Heather, you are up. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Guys as well.
No worries. Good morning. Heather Holbert. I'm Assistant City Manager for the City of Corpus Christi. So Commissioners Court had asked for an update on the Barisi project and the TERS. And so go ahead and provide that to you today. Next slide, please. So just a recap on what the project is. So the TERS was created at the request of the developer, specifically for the Barisi redevelopment project. The developer did approach all three, the city, the county, and Del Mar were asked to participate. And so this is a project to redevelop what used to be the Faro Valley, country club, golf course area. And so the development is proposing to bring in approximately 1,300 multifamily units, 210 townhomes, 350 age-restricted units, 57 single-family homes, a hotel, about 96,000 square feet of retail space, about 1,700 parking spaces within structured parking garages, a golf course, sports courts, and nature preserve. And then all of this will be centered around kind of a village plaza, bell tower, wedding chapel, and event space. And so the concept behind this is kind of a European type village concept that will be walkable with water features that will utilize the natural drainage areas there, along with plazas and common spaces. And so the TERS was created with a maximum reimbursement of up to $52 million. The estimated build out is a 10 to 12 year period with a total valuation, taxable valuation of about $800 million that will be added to the tax rolls. We did begin working with the developer back in 23 on this project, and then the zone was created in 24. Next slide, please. So where we are is that the ordinance has been approved, is approved back in 24 to actually create the zone. At that same time, the interlocal agreement with Nueces County for y'all's participation in the zone was approved by City Council, and that should actually say 24, not 25. So that was back in October of 24. In January of this year, the board members were appointed by the city. This is a little bit different than some of our other TERS in the fact that this is a developer created TERS, not a city created TERS. And so the board consists of 2 representatives from the developers team, 2 representatives from the county, 2 representatives from the city, 1 representative from Del Mar, and then 2 representatives that are representatives of our state legislatures. We are working to schedule the first TERS board meeting. We originally had that one scheduled back in April. We had some scheduling conflicts. And so I believe now we have July 2nd as the firm date for that board meeting. I believe also that there was one of the county's representatives chose not to continue moving forward and has resigned. So my understanding is that y'all will be appointing a new board member for that position. So then what we have in progress right now is that we're continuing to work with the developers team to finalize the actual development agreement, which will be the agreement between the TERS and the developer for the project. We'll be finalizing the interlocal agreement with Del Mar for their participation. Like I said, Nueces County does need to appoint that board member to replace the board member that had resigned. And then we have scheduled the first board meeting for July the 2nd. Next slide, please. Oh, so then what's coming up in the future is that like I said, we need to do the interlocal agreement Del Mar. The TERS board will approve the project and financing plan. So just a reminder, the project and financing plan actually guides how the money is spent that is collected by the TERS. Those were for infrastructure projects that will be in support of this development. And then the developer agreement is actually, again, the agreement between the TERS and the developer for what the project is going to look like. And then that will go to City Council for approval. So that does conclude my update. I am available for any questions.
I have a question, Heather, on the makeup, the composition of the board. Remind me, they only live in that
area.
area, right? Are those are the members that make up the board, or are there any council members that are part of this?
So there are no council member, there's one council member, the council member from the district, Councilmember Paxson is on the board. But reminder, this is different than our normal TERS board.
Right.
So it is actually primarily, the statute says that it's primarily made up of representatives of the landowner and or their representatives. So what we did is that we worked with the developer who is the sole landowner, and they allocated the county as quote representatives, the city as quote representatives. Del Mar does have one seat by right. The county has one seat by right. And then the two state representative seats are by right.
And we have one or two representatives. I know you said one, but I thought we voted on two
I
names.
thought we had two.
So there, I believe Steve Moody resigned. Steve, I
So
can't.
we have two then?
Yeah,
Hardy and Moody, but Moody resigned.
yes.
Yeah.
That's all I was just wondering. I mean, I know
Technically
that,
a holdover until we replace him, so he's
well,
technically
I
still.
mean, my point with that, I don't want to get off. I mean, this update is good. But you, of course, you and I split that neighborhood actually.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I volunteer you to serve on there. I
No,
wouldn't
no,
mind
no,
having
no,
some on
no, no.
on the court on there.
Yeah.
So someone's on the council from there.
No, we designated had to be two Fayette residences. We made that as part of our motion. So that, we made that in the motion, and I'm still good.
I'm wondering where, are we going to have a problem filling that vacancy, or?
Well, that's my questions is if you're done, but I've got questions on the whole Parisi.
Well, I mean, I did too, but while she brought it up, just while that was fresh in my mind, I mean, there's a lot of questions with this I have as well.
I think
Maybe
move on to
maybe
your
it's moot.
questions
Maybe it's a
now.
moot point. Let
I
me,
don't know, go ahead.
Hear you talk.
Ask yours, I'll wait.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now you're deferring to me,
Age
all right.
before.
No, so,
But he's
I mean, let's cut to the chase. What the heck's really going on here?
So when I talked to the developer last week, they said that they are still in their engineering and architectural stage, and that they don't anticipate any type of dirt moving for at least another 12 to 18 months.
So
I thought they were ready to go when we did this.
how do we do anything about that? Because there's not any confidence that from the neighbors that I've talked to in that area that this is really going to happen at this point.
Sure.
So what time limits are there on this TERS? What can we do to motivate the developer? Well, that's a bad, I don't know. Yeah, I'll take that one back. But what can we do as entities to ensure everything that needs to be done on our end? Because there's just a lot of people losing a lot of confidence in this process.
Understood.
So, me included.
Mhm.
And it's frustrating because we all did this because we really wanted to help the neighbors. There was a lot of skepticism about, whether the developer could do it in the first
Yes.
place.
Yes.
I mean, no disrespect, but it is what it is. It's out there wide and rampant. It's no secret. So, where really are we? Like 12 to 18 months now? I mean, that's farther back than what was presented to us. I mean, what the heck is
Exactly.
really going on?
Exactly. So, like I said, I couldn't speak to why they're delayed. The developer did give me just the information when I tried to push for more information on why the delay. They said they were still in their architectural and engineering stage, and that it would be another 12 to 18 months. They did mention the fact that just due to interest rates and just kind of the economy right now, they said that rental occupancy wasn't where they would like it to be before they put more multifamily units into the market. So they did reference some economic considerations there. So, what we can do to try to help move this along is, we're still finalizing the development agreement. And I know our city council had been very definite in wanting milestones in that development agreement to ensure that the developer continued moving forward. The commissioner's court is able to have input on that as part of the TERS. To say, maybe there's maybe, and I'm not sure how your process is, but maybe a resolution saying we would like to see these included in the development agreement. These are what we would like to have reflected in there. That's something you are very well within your rights to do, to give that information to city council as we move forward with that development agreement. But we are just as excited and, I guess I won't say excited. We are just as apprehensive about this moving forward, I think, as you are. We reflect that because it has not moved forward like that has been promised.
I got a question, Commissioner.
No, oh, wait, go ahead.
It's, to me, that's why I hardly ever like this TERS thing, and I mean, if there's people who are really interested in doing things, I mean, I just want to see a commitment or an investment on the table.
Sure.
Because then I know he's serious about moving forward.
Yeah.
Somebody got to be serious about moving forward. We talk about this, now it's going to be another 18 months. That's next year sometime, so maybe. And, but again, I just, when somebody doesn't put something on the table, I was really interested in supporting this thing, but I think that I think in the future, if somebody wants to do something, we need to have them come to the table and say, here's my investment. I'm gonna put this aside. Here's my commitment, so we go from here, right?
Yeah.
Because, we can go around for years, right? And everybody's just talking about it. So, that's my take on it. I just don't feel good about it.
And I think, that therein lies the rub. And I'm going to ask you about something else too in just a second. Because obviously, these TERSs are important and the one that we're going to talk about later that we're not going to take action on today, but that's got shovel ready projects and that's got things ready to go, people with money ready to invest. We hoped this was what this one was too. And at this point, it's markedly different than the one we're going to consider coming up.
Yes.
So I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to, take hope away from the people in Barisi Village, but I just don't know what to do at this point. I mean, yeah, we can put milestones in. If you've got some suggestions to start with, that'd be great. And then I was going to ask you, and I don't know if y'all are even involved in this one, but were y'all involved in that TERS 3 that we did a long time ago that has been kind of sitting there dormant also? I mean, that's another one that I don't know if y'all are involved in that.
TERS 3 is downtown.
Yeah,
No,
TERS
not
three,
three.
TERS number 5.
Five.
So that one's actually been
We abolished
canceled.
that one.
Yeah, we dissolved that one
Y'all did
a
that.
year and a half ago. Yes.
Okay, so we didn't have to do anything because that was y'all. Y'all just abolished that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gone.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
exactly. And so that was another case
Sorry,
of
wrong
where,
number.
we had the milestones. The developer did ask for one extension. We granted that extension. And then when it became evident that the developer was not going to be able to move forward with that, we went ahead and moved to cancel it. He wasn't going to meet the next milestone. So we canceled the developer agreement and we actually dissolved the TERS.
That's the crosstown one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so that one was dissolved. On this one, I can't speak necessarily for what city council would do, but our recommendation would be that, we would have to have some type of action within the next 12 to 18 months. Otherwise, we would, give a period for cure for them to be able to move that. We would need to have some type of permitting, whether or develop, things like that to show that there is forward progress. Otherwise, we would, move to dissolve the TERS.
And so the way that thing is set up now, it's recapturing in this, I mean, I guess, even though there's no growth.
No growth,
Because
yeah.
So, but is the recapture only regulated to what they actually build? Or let's say those property values increase just on their own because
Sure.
they do.
Sure.
So is that part of the TERS right now and that recapture is building up money currently?
So exactly. So it is not specifically on just the vertical development. It would be for any value of
Right.
that plot.
That's what I
So
remember it.
if I remember right, we haven't seen any, because there has not been any movement on it. There's been no platting. There's been no movement on the land that is there. And so if there has been any growth at all, which I'll have to go and check and see. I don't think there has been any incremental growth since the TERS was created. Base year for this TERS would be 24. So it would just be the growth within tax year 25, which we don't have those final values yet, but we'll double check on that. So it would just be the incremental growth off of the base year.
So, go ahead.
So it is.
Go ahead.
Do you have
You
a
done?
question?
No,
Commissioner-
that's okay. Go ahead.
Commissioner Pusley?
No, that's okay. Brent,
Go
Brent, I
ahead, Mike.
apologize.
It's a ebb and a flow. Go ahead. I'm all right. I can wait.
Okay, so that's my problem with this whole thing is the tax reinvestment zone is funded by the growth in that particular tax reinvestment zone.
That is correct.
Boundary.
Yes.
And there has been no growth. It's still just vacant land.
That's correct.
And so I don't understand how the developer is going to have to come forward with a substantial amount of money to start the vertical construction as you're talking about.
Yes.
Before we're going to see any growth in the TERS funding itself or its bank account, if you will.
That is correct.
And so I think 12 to 18 months is way too long.
Okay.
That's just my opinion, but
sure.
Maybe the court will have a different opinion of that, but I've had second guesses about this whole thing from the very beginning because I never understood how, unless somebody comes in there and invests a significant amount of money on construction, how it's ever going to earn any money at all to help fund itself. I just don't understand how that process would work.
Sure. And that is, one of the things that we, as, on the city policy is that we always do reimbursement for TERSs. And so the developer does have to have skin in the game.
Right.
They have to perform, they have to provide those improvements, and then they're reimbursed off of the increment that is created by those improvements. So none of our TERSs allow for the fronting of any type of money, any type of bond issuance that's then paid back by the TERS. Everything is cash funded based on a reimbursement resolution because we do want to make sure that the developer does perform and make sure that the project comes to fruition prior to them getting any type of incentives
Okay.
or reimbursement.
Okay. Well, thank you, Heather. I
Sure.
appreciate your information. Thank you. I'm done. Good.
Commissioner Chester?
That was where I was, that's where I was going. He finished up for me. I'm good too.
Commissioner Modas, you're.
Yeah, I mean, super excited about the concept,
Mhm.
right? We all are. When Fair Valley shut down years ago, we wondered what was next and we saw this as the opportunity. I still am support of the concept, but we all want to make sure that is it going to happen? Is it going to come to fruition? And so that's my biggest concern, like the rest of the court. Of course, we'll follow our partners at City Council. It's very unique that you get a TERS, at least on the county level, that has this opportunity to be split. I mean, we're all supportive of it and interested in it, but the fact that you have two members of the court that represent two halves of this, I think it's pretty exciting to have that opportunity. You don't always get that. So overall, we want the community and the neighborhood to know that we want that growth and development. We've always been on that side, but we also got to see
some movement,
some results, right? Some movement. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So I thank you for this update. And I think what the members of the court have already said, I think most of us are in agreement with that. So
Sure.
thank you for your time, Heather.
Of course, of course. And what we'll do is as we get those milestones together, what I'll do is I'll share it with the judge and then you can share it with the rest of the court. Like I said, I'm not sure what your mechanism would be, but you are encouraged to provide guidance as being one of the partners in this TERS to be able to have your thoughts and your opinions on those milestones be reflected in that.
I would tend to agree with Commissioner Pusley down there in shorter
12
term.
months,
When
okay.
this got brought to us, we thought they were ready
Ready to
move
go, exactly.
forward. And this waiting another year and a half with nothing I think is unacceptable.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's unacceptable to residents. They want to see movement. This isn't about
Exactly.
me, the government, me doing this for the government. This is me trying to push for the residents that I represent and
Absolutely.
that
Yes.
Commissioner Modas represents. That's my job, is to advocate for them. So we are excited about this concept because those poor people need some hope for developing that area.
Yeah.
But we need to be the ones that play the bad cops here and help push this along and
Definitely.
get something done for these residents, because that's who we're fighting for. It's not about Nueces County, the entity. It's
Exactly.
about, we represent people that are getting nowhere fast, and we need to help them get somewhere fast. So we need to help everything we can on the residents. I would say also, since you have that July meeting set and we won't get someone replaced, you might reach out to Steve, and I will too, and just say at this point he's still a holdover because we haven't replaced him, and that's the law in Texas. So until we can get him replaced, if we can at least get him to that first meeting, hopefully, or at least put him on the notification list. So technically, he still is there. So please leave him on the list, and I'll let him know what the problem is, and he may just have to go to one, and maybe he'll change his mind. I don't know, but I know he probably, I'm not speaking for him, but I'm sure he's frustrated about this too. And I would be. The guy's dedicated 10
Most
years
definitely.
to this, you know.
I would encourage, this, again, this is going to be different than a lot of our other tours. There will not be regular meetings like this because this is a set, unlike some of our other tours, where we have projects that are brought forward for consideration. This is set off of a set project and financing plan. The projects basically have already been approved. And so it's just, and now the developer needs to perform to be able to bring that project to fruition.
Okay, thank you
Okay,
very much.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate you being here, of course. Moving on to item number 4, discuss and consider proposed plan design changes and contributions for health insurance to take effect on our October 1, 2025 and related matters. I think we have John Bass on Zoom.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, thank you. Shall we start?
Please, we're running a little bit behind today, so.
I will be brief. If you could go to the page 3, please. So just as, again, good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Just as a brief background, in April, the court approved the selection of Blue Cross Blue Shield as the county's new medical TPA. That arrangement is in process. The implementation is beginning to move forward, working with HR and others. If you remember, the pharmacy program will remain with Script Care at least for one more year through the end of their contractual terms. Next page.
What's the TPA? I'm sorry.
Third-party administrator. They are the administrator of the county self-funded plan.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. So, working with the insurance committee, the county will continue to offer 2 networks, but really, I would say comparable benefits as they are today. So the Blue Essentials HMO will replace the Christus EPO plan. It does have an expanded network, much improved expanded network statewide of really almost all hospitals, physicians in Texas in all 254 counties. It does include all the Christus providers and other local hospitals as well, so enhanced access there. It does require the selection of a primary physician and a referral to network specialist, but we have talked to the committee on that, and I think that is a good addition to the plan. And of course, it is in-network coverage only, which is consistent with the current program today. The Blue PPO plan is obviously the national access to the Blue Cross Blue Shield network, not only in Texas, but anywhere in the U.S. Certainly includes all local providers, including Christus providers. There's no selection of a primary physician. Members may choose any provider in a direct referral basis. And of course, if the member decides to seek coverage out of network, there are benefits associated with those as well as the current plan today. And just as a comment, in our analysis, there's really no material disruption to any member currently seeking care today. So, and as I noted, the access to participating providers is significantly improved, especially on the Blue Essentials HMO. Next page, please. So, again, working with the insurance committee, this is what the insurance committee had recommended. Certainly, the county's costs have significantly increased over the last handful of years, and the benefits had remained the same. To trim our costs, but yet be very comparable in the marketplace, the committee has recommended the following design changes. So the deductible would increase by $500 per individual. That would be on a plan year basis. The coinsurance would move from a 90% plan to an 80% plan. The out-of-pocket would move up slightly, $1,500 annually. We have restructured some of the copay arrangements for ER and urgent care. We want to incent members to choose the appropriate level of care. And so we've gone to a flat dollar urgent care. Blue Cross has many urgent care facilities in the greater Nueces County area and of course across the state. The members just simply pay a flat $100 regardless of the cost of the service. We do want to make the ER arrangement a bit more penal, but yet the average cost of an ER stay is between $2,500 and $3,000. So even at a $350 copay, that's just 10% of the cost of the service. And be consistent with routine lab and x-rays. Today, there's no deductible to get blood work done, and we're going to continue that, but it'll drop to the consistent 80% coinsurance. The other change we do want to make is on the pharmacy program. Again, pharmacy copays have not changed, certainly to my knowledge, within the last 4 to 5 years. But we all know the cost of prescription drugs. So we will keep generic drugs at $10, again, incenting employees to choose generics whenever possible. Preferred brand name drugs from $25 to a $50 copay. Non-preferred drugs increase that copay to $150. Specialty drugs, which we hear quite a bit advertised, of those specialty medications could be anywhere from $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month to upwards to $20,000 a month. We're simply asking the member to pay a $250 copay. And then, of course, we're maintaining the mail order program as is today, should a member use mail for maintenance medications. Next slide. So overall, the county, this first option is really no employee increase, and I know that's very sensitive to the court. So the rates would stay the same with the plans I just described. That would be, I think, a good recommendation. I would certainly support that. It's a 3% increase to the county's contribution and their portion of the rate. You see what those are. In essence, it's about roughly $440,000 over the 12-month period. The next slide, which we don't have to show, that's just simply if the court wanted to make some adjustments to the employee rate. Modest amount, you can see on the far right-hand side, even at a 5% increase to employee contributions, you can see what that amount is each month. We did provide some benchmarking to the insurance committee, and even at whether it's the previous slide or this slide, employee rates still are very competitive in the marketplace. The plan designs are still very competitive in the marketplace. The plans are overall richer than some of the peer groups. But I think the county can feel good about the current program that's being proposed and certainly the rate structure that is also being proposed. I'll stop, take any questions at this time.
Mr. Valdez, do you have anything to add to that? With us, I know we met several times, and the insurance committee as well, and we felt that very certain about making some of the changes you talked about, and actually even looked at comparisons with the cities, the CCISD and the port, and these are still well under the cost and benefits that the others provide. So we were unanimous in asking for this proposal to go forward, and you can either do option number 1 that just kind of directs people to the right place, maybe increases some of those fees, and if you go to the ER instead of going to an urgent care or something, it's just if you need to go, we want you to definitely, we want that available. But it just kind of helped us anticipate cost and cut down on cost and fees. So
Yeah, Judge, I mean, we are very sensitive to any increases, but we know as a court, we've historically taken on, we, through the budget of the county, have taken on always a big chunk, a generous portion of this, and we know that's what motivates many people to come work for us or stay with us, really. But reality is that we've known for years that this is taking a hit on the budget. And so we have to make some realistic recommendations without putting so much of a strain. I wouldn't go as far as saying, I guess maybe it is penal, what Mr. Bass said on the ER. I don't think we see it that way. But I think he's just trying to stress how it could be seen as a more severe payment. But when you just get that flat rate, and you cap it at the 350 for the ER, yes, there is a difference there. But we're hoping, one, that people don't get to that point of ER care and that they have an urgent care option. That's just a flat rate of 100. But once again, it's reality. I mean, to be able to function, as we know, our revenues, our option for revenues are shrinking year after year from the legislature. And so we're running out of options. So this is we're still trying to find a middle ground with all of this. I think that's the biggest message, hopefully, that we can to share with our employees, is that we get it. I'm a user of this insurance, so I get it. I understand the impacts that it has on myself and my family. So we're not trying to go from one extreme to the other, but we are trying to find maybe some middle ground. So that's what you're seeing in the proposal today. So it is a little beneficial because I serve on the insurance committee by designation of the judge, and so we were both there to hear this presentation, and I've heard it a couple of times, at least more than you have, and had some pretty extensive deep dives into it, so that hopefully the court doesn't have to do all that. But I would encourage you to ask those questions now, because we may end up being asked when we're out, visiting some of the offices or facilities that are county run, and our employees or our staff may ask us directly. So it's important that we get familiar with this, comfortable with this concept. Of course, it's always all of ours, just a discretion on how we move forward. But these options have had a lot of time and effort put into them to get us to this point. We of course thank Mr. Bass and his team for helping us come up with these options.
Any questions?
Did we? Yeah, I'm sorry. When we start talking about insurance, my head starts to hurt. But did we look at how with the, let me say this correctly, the historical use of our current insurance and what that looks like? Did we look at how these new fees are going to impact the individuals / families on an average basis? So in other words, if I'm single and I have insurance here at the county and I'm spending on average $400 a year, and I'm just pulling that number out of there for healthcare, and what is that going to go to in the future based on these new fees? Did we look at anything like that? I'm asking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Commissioner, could I make a couple of comments? First of all, even with the new funding arrangements, from a rate perspective, the county is continuing to pay 87% of the cost of the overall plan. So 13% is falling to employees through their contributions, number one. Number two, approximately 2% of all of your covered employees and family members, only about 2%, account for 75% of your claims. That's normal in a group setting. The average expenditure of care for employees and their family members is less than $1,000 a year. So, and of course, I did not specifically mention, but there are benefits within the program. For example, all preventive care does not require any cost for the member. Checkups, immunizations for kids, well checkups for adults, women's care, et cetera. So there's a benefit there. I think the plan is simply what I like to phrase is trying to be modernized to try to incent care at the most appropriate setting. For example, we still have office co-payments for doctor's visits, flat amounts, $25. It's increased to $50 for a specialist. We have appropriate out-of-pocket amounts that are consistent with someone who may have a larger claim over the year, for example. So I think on the whole, I think the court can feel good that the plan appropriately protects the employee for any catastrophic type care, but also incents the employee to choose the appropriate level of care when they need services. And I think that's one of the reasons why the insurance committee did elect to move to Blue Cross, because of the additional support that that firm is able to provide not only employees directly, but also through the HR team in terms of communication, helping employees seek better care options and lower cost opportunities, as well as just educating in overall health and wellness.
Well, I appreciate that explanation. And I guess, and I agree with Commissioner Moore. We want to do everything we can to make sure we're doing the best we can for our employees and staff. And when you say, well, the cost only increased a little less than $1,000 on a per family basis, that doesn't sound bad when you say it real quick. For a lot of families, $1,000 increase in cost is a big deal. And so I just hope we're cognizant of that in the fact that I know insurance costs are ever increasing, and it's a big, huge problem. But I appreciate the insurance committee's work on this. I'm sure it's the best we can do. Thank you.
Well, I think the way to look at this is you're gonna go with somebody, right? Either us or them, so.
Yeah.
And that.
We have no choice.
Yeah, no choice.
Yes. Like, and we tried to keep it balanced then. Commissioner Tesny, you.
I was just gonna say, I might get on this insurance. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I've never done it, but I can't compete with this kind of insurance in the private sector. That's for sure. So 87% that the county's eaten is, I've never heard of that. I mean, I don't know, maybe some of the multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar Elon Musk companies can do it, but we sure can't. I can't. So, and again, we always talk about this insurance, and we've eaten so much of these insurance costs, and then we have better, it sounds like we have better plans cost-wise than the port and some of the bigger places around here, and that's pretty
City, CCRC.
impressive, but we sure get knocked a lot for our benefits.
People
And
need to understand this is part of your
Yeah.
salary. This
part
is
of the package.
yeah.
Nobody ever gives us credit for this. It doesn't seem like, because everybody says we don't pay enough, and I get that we don't pay enough, but part of the reason we don't pay enough is because we're eating 87% of the insurance cost, and maybe we shouldn't have ever started down that path, but it's where we are. So I hope that's recognized by our employers. We're trying to do the best we can and pay 87% of the cost. That's more than healthy.
Okay. Do we need a motion or anything?
Yes.
I mean, it's, all right, so no one has,
Any other questions?
Yeah.
No.
So yes, we're making a motion?
Mhm.
Okay. So what's the motion, Commissioner Monas?
a motion to accept, is it option?
Option number one.
Option one, yes.
No increase to the employees on their portion. Yes. Option
And-
number two has a slight increase.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Option.
So what do you say, slight increase, what's the slight?
Can you tell us the difference in that, Mr. Bass, real quick? What, you had a dollar amount when we were in the office, it's minimal, but
So it's two that I believe that Mr. Bass is recommending.
I'm recommending
That we
option
we
two,
gave as
yes.
option two as a committee.
Which
With the
we felt
1387
like-
split.
Which
That you remember.
So option two is what?
Option two is the 1387 split, yes.
1387.
Is
The slight increase?
Yes.
Option two.
Employee is 13% and the employer split is 87. That's option two. Well, they both show that as an option two, but the
Mr. Back-
3% ER increases option one with the 2% option two, so.
Right. Option two maintains the county's increase at only 2%. Option two, so county costs go up roughly 2% in aggregate, and the employee cost would be increasing 5%, which you can see on slide 7 what the actual dollar figure is for the employee adjustment. So if one is in the selects the Blue Cross HMO, the employee increase is $2.10 per month, $1.05 bi-monthly.
So on option 2, we're still paying more also.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay, and so
1585 on option 2. It's 1387 on option 1. It looks like. Is that correct, Mr. Bass? That's what this paper says.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
so option 2 is just we're paying less, but we're still eating
We're
more.
still eating.
Right.
Yes.
We've got
Right.
that figured into our upcoming budget and how we're going to pay for all that and everything.
Well,
This is what starts it off.
yeah.
This is what starts it off. I mean, this is
We
what's.
need to figure out what we're gonna owe.
And
Comes the budget challenge that we'll get on our.
this is part of what we're have to take on depending on what we want. Yeah.
How much is
5% for the employees.
It's
And how much is the 2% for us? What's that equate to? What's that number, Mr. Bass?
I'm sorry, your question, sir?
What are the 2% on option 2 that we're eating as a county? What does that equate to dollar wise?
On an annual basis, just shy of 13.9 million.
Wait. No, what's the increase?
Yeah. Just a 2%.
2%, sir. So that figure is roughly $275,000 to the county, and then the balance, which is about 200,000, would then fall to the employees.
And does this fit within the strategies that we had outlined going forward on insurance in regarding the shared expense or what we were going to do? I'm just.
This is the start of that. This
Right.
is the, yes.
That's why we
That's what,
met with him, was to kind of give us these options.
Open the door.
and that was our recommendation after our meetings, option number 2.
And so would it be, I'm just throwing it out there, would it not be better just to say employees pay it and we put that towards the raise? Because I just don't think they don't ever get that we're giving this as a raise. They never count it. It's, we never get credit for that.
No.
I mean, credit's not what, but it's like, people forget that we're eating these insurance premiums, and here we are, another 275,000, which if that's what we're going to do, then that's got to count towards, when we're talking about raises that we all want to give employees, that's got to count somewhere. That's got to be calculated in, because it never seems to come into play when we're talking about this with
What are
employees.
you saying? If we give them 7, we say 5% is already insurance and 2%.
Well, I'm saying,
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing a number out there.
yeah, I'm just saying,
I mean,
if
if we're
we're
going to
gonna,
give you 7, 5 is already insurance, and 2% is not,
yeah, or something, we've just got to be able to really.
It's already in the insurance.
That's what I'm saying, 5% is, if we include the insurance, 2% added.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if
Something like that.
we gotta, when we're talking raises in the fall or in the summer,
Next couple of months.
whatever we're talking about, you've got to be able to, we've got to be able to equate this to sort of, and so the employees know that
Remind us.
that's part of,
Yes.
and that's really what's hard to do, is we've been doing this for years in this county, eating these insurance premiums. And really, I just don't think the employees know it. I mean, I just don't think they know how much we've saved them in insurance premiums over the last 10 years. I mean, this started back with Lloyd. This was his deal. I mean, Mike remembers that, I mean, this was his thing. He wanted to, do this, and it's a great thing that we've done, but I don't think it ever gets discussed that, because it's part of the raise. It's part of the package. We're paying for part of this. So I'm okay with this. I'm just kind of saying it because I'm going to always say it, because it's sometime maybe somebody will hear it. So I know everybody up here hears it, but hopefully.
Yeah.
So we just need to, when we're talking about this, let's remember, when we're talking about what we're doing for employees, please, let's put this into the package. So I think there's a motion in a second. I'm good.
Could we bring that list of the charges up again? Did I hear correctly? It's going to be $350 copay to go to the doctor?
No.
What?
It's for the emergency room cost, sir, the facility cost.
So if I go see my primary care physician, or they go see their primary care physician, what's the increase for that?
No,
I don't think they don't pay anything.
It's
DER.
it's your
the
regular.
the cost. The cost for physician services in the office is a flat $25 for your internist and your primary care physicians. That goes to $50 for a specialist. So orthopedic surgery, cardiology, et cetera, those are up to $50, but those are flat dollar co-payments. And of course, preventive care is covered at 100%. There is no co-payment by the member. You do have co-payments today. It's not listed on this screen. You do have co-payments today. Those co-payments, because your current program is, in my opinion, those co-payments are a little confusing. There's a co-payment, and then it goes to co-insurance after that, after a deductible. So to make it simpler and easier, we just the insurance committee agreed to just have a flat dollar co-payment, slightly higher than it is today, and that would benefit to the employees in the long run.
And that is how much?
$25 for a primary physician, so an internist, pediatrician, a family practitioner, general practitioner, and then specialist care, all those other physicians that are specialists, the office visit is $50.
And how are the minor emergencies treated if someone goes to a minor emergency outlet? Are they?
Yep, typically there's an urgent care copay of $100. There are many urgent care centers that are contracted with Blue Cross Blue Shield in the greater Nueces County area. It's part of the education process. We want those employees to go not only to those facilities for their urgent care, but they also receive a flat benefit. They know exactly what it costs when they seek those services.
So we provide them a list of where those are?
Absolutely. That is part of the education process that is next up with HR and the rest of the team. There will be massive education on these new plans, massive education on support programs offered by Blue Cross Blue Shield for those that have complications around diabetes or whatever the issue may be. So yes, absolutely. Employee education of these plans and where to go for care and how to optimize their benefits to lower their out-of-pocket costs is certainly on the agenda. So more to follow on that here in the next few months and preparing for open enrollment, which I believe is tentatively scheduled around mid-August.
Okay.
Early August, mid-August.
Yeah, Commissioner Kesney's right. I mean, we discussed this at length before and how the county was basically absorbing a lot of the cost increases associated with healthcare insurance for their employees. And he's correct. Many times that's not recognized. And I guess it's because it doesn't help you pay the bill at HEB or your electric company or whatever. And so I've often thought about that many times and thought, well, maybe we should just let the insurance do what it does and we just give cost of living raises based on what we would have done for insurance. But I don't know. That's a discussion for another day.
And Commissioner, you're dead on, and I think it's really important to note of the 15, if I'm not mistaken, of this 15,968,000, Nueces County is paying 13.8 million. Is that what I'm reading right? If we're paying 87% of that, Mr. Bass, that's right, and that's the number you shot out the other one.
Yes, sir.
So
That is correct.
the Nueces County, the citizens of Nueces County, of which we represent 350,000 people, not just the 1,500 employees, the citizens of Nueces County. I don't know how much, need to, we're paying 13.8 million of healthcare premiums versus 2 million that the employees are paying portion of. And so that's a humongous number, humongous. And so I don't know how many times I want to say that because I'm not sure the constituents that we represent outside of our employees are going to like that number. But it is what it is, and hopefully the employees realize what the county is doing. So
when they complain about the pay scale and compare us to other counties, I think we need to hear apples to apples. Let's see how much they're paying on their insurance and everything else as well then in the future. But that is the motion to, I guess I'll make the motion to accept option 2 our next year's county health plan.
Option 2.
Mhm.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and that's the recommendation from the insurance committee as per us transitioning to do more the other way. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bass.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Item number 5. Let's try to move through some of these things. I know we're getting pretty late, you know, probably won't. Discuss and consider authorizing approving a cooperative contract purchase under by board contract with Rockdale County Ford for 2024 Ford T350 Transit 12 passenger van for the Nueces County Juvenile Department in the amount of $52,850. This is a state funded. The state is paying for these. I'll make the motion to pass.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 6, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Item number 6, discuss and consider approving an execution of change order number 1 to the agreement with Line Weber Concrete Construction for Precinct 2 Petronilla Estate drainage improvements. In the amount.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7. I have a note on here you wanted to pull to executives.
Yes, ma'am.
I will circle that and put a note. Item number 8, discuss and consider upcoming Commissioners Court meeting dates and workshop. Just a reminder, July 8th and 10th are budget workshop meetings for your calendars, please.
Judge, I had a motion to postpone the June 25th meeting to a date to be determined at a later time.
June 25th,
Yes, ma'am. The regular meeting?
the regular meeting,
Yes, ma'am.
and to, would you need to at the same time then authorize the county judge to?
I just need to see if this one passes and then I was
Okay.
going to make a subsequent motion. I guess I can make it all together. That's fine. I'll make a motion to postpone the June 25th regular meeting to a date to be determined later and for the county judge to be able to approve all bills that are needed to be done. And if the county judge is gone, that the judge pro tem be allowed to do so.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Oh,
Aye.
sorry, a question. Wait, Commissioner Pusley, I'm sorry.
I didn't raise my little flag. I'm
Yeah, sorry.
tied up with that stick.
You're going to end up getting one of those things delivered to your office.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got that no button.
Great place to eat. I love those little flags.
That's a good thing.
Show up with.
No papillas.
Not here.
But, okay, you said something you're on there quickly. So the July 8th meeting is going to be a workshop for,
It's a reminder. They should already be on your calendar.
that was-
July 8th and the 10th. It's just a reminder about workshop meetings for the budget. Mhm.
and I had briefly told you that, I made a mistake and made reservations to be out of town. The 8th, I won't be back until 10th, actually.
Oh, so you'll be gone for both of those?
Well, we're flying out of the country and we won't be.
Can't hear you, sir.
Into your
Sorry.
microphone, sorry.
We're flying out of the country and we fly back on the 9th.
Oh, so you'll be here for the 10th?
I'll be here on the 10th, yes.
If we could, if we could vote on this one and then if you need to change yours, we could change that.
Okay, yeah,
That, I mean,
if we could do that, it'd be great. So because I hate to miss a budget workshop.
we hate for you to miss one, man.
Yep, thank you.
So, and we have another thing that has come up that the commissioners are going to be gone, so we could cancel the 8th. Is that what y'all just said?
Oh, wait, we're still on the motion on the
Oh,
25th. We
first
didn't vote that one.
motion, yes, we have a motion and a second by
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes.
now- Now he wants to move, Commissioner Pusley wants to move July 8th,
Mhm.
which is great. We can move it to July 11th, do it Thursday,
Do we
Friday. Is
have anything?
Thursday,
Ladies, are y'all looking at our clock? Is it good? That will work?
that okay?
10th and 11th then. Good point.
The
Okay.
Commissioners Court meeting is on the 9th. Wednesday is on the 9th, July
Mhm.
9th.
Mhm.
So we would move it to the 10th,
The 10th, we already have
We're
a
adding the
workshop.
10th.
We would move it to the 11th.
to the 11th.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a Friday.
For the motion
Is
to
there
be
any
moved.
action we would need to take before in the workshops to direct
No,
staff by the
it's
9th?
all-
No?
No, it's
Okay.
all budget stuff.
So the motion would be to move July 8th meeting to July 11th.
11th.
11th, okay.
That's Wednesday and Friday, right? Oh.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, because we have 9th, 10th, and 11th.
We,
There's only one moving. The 8th is moving to the 11th.
Right.
We already have a regular
I'm saying-
scheduled court on the 9th, and we have a workshop already on the 10th. We are moving the meeting on the 8th to the 11th.
Right,
yes,
gotcha.
ma'am.
Yes.
That would be the motion, yes, ma'am.
And
We're moving the
stick with
meeting,
that motion.
we're moving the meeting of the 9th.
No, 8th.
No. 9th is staying the same. You will miss one commissioner's court.
We will?
Yes.
I mean, we can talk about that, but let's just do one at a time. So we're moving the 8th to the 11th right now, unless you want to move the.
We have a meeting on the 8th. It's not on my,
No, the
The
9th.
eighth,
9th.
the 8th and the 10th are workshops.
Well, it.
That's
It's the actual.
It's not on my
Commissioner's Court
calendar.
date.
Have we given the commissioners that schedule yet?
The calendar.
Yes, sir.
We did? How did, why do I not? Okay.
So if we,
The 11th is okay for workshop.
I'm saying the 11th is a
so
Friday.
then if we want to, we can also look at moving the July 9th.
Let's vote on the 8th
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
right now, so before we all get
Yeah.
more confused. The meeting on the 8th, the motion is to move the meeting on the 8th to the 11th, that
Second.
Friday. We have a
Second.
second by Commissioner Gonzalez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Now, you have a question about the July 9th regular Commissioners Court meeting that
I would
is not showing
recommend
up
that
on
we
your
move
calendar.
that to the 16th, if that's going to be a problem, but that puts,
So we'll put us back to back on the next ones.
right, and that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's a long time to not have
Right.
court until the
It is.
16th too, because we're not having the 25th.
Well, or we could undo what we just did and have Commissioners Court meeting on Friday, the 11th.
Well, if the 9th is not gonna have anything with respect to the budget, I'm okay with missing. a
It's
meeting.
not, it's gonna be a regular meeting. It's
So,
not gonna be. a
I'm
budget
okay with
meeting.
that. I just didn't want to miss a budget meeting.
Yes,
Okay.
no, it's not.
All right.
So I'm,
Yeah.
I'm.
It's a
leaving.
regular meeting, a
Yeah.
regular business. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
So
I
we're
have full
fine.
confidence that y'all will handle it without me.
Don't worry, you'll hear about it when we don't.
Let us know if you want.
No, we're going to load up precinct 1.
There you go.
Now, let's get
Did that
through
change
some
your-
postal part things, because I know Scott is ready to move fast.
Yes, I am.
Item
I am.
D1, discuss and consider execution of a conservation easement on 150 acres within the Nueces County owned land referred to as the Clayburg Beach property located in Clayburg County and all related matters.
Recommend approval.
I would make the motion to approve. This is getting rid of the wetlands that was attached to another piece of property and moving it, finally closing out that Army Corps of Engineer requirement. So
Second,
we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Judge 2 through 5 are all grant funded, no impact, blanket approval.
Motion
Yeah,
to
no.
pass, motion to pass items 2 through 5 because they are all funded, grant funded, and no
Second.
impact on the county.
2 through 5, okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on any of this?
Back there.
I have one question about this. Well, I think these, that's what I want clarification. These are trading out, and replacing vehicles. We're not adding vehicles to the fleet because that will increase our insurance cost.
The only one that I'm adding, well, it's wouldn't even be adding right now because I've got 6, 7, 8, 9 that are down. So yeah, no, I
It
can,
wouldn't be increasing the
Yeah.
fleet number, so.
yeah.
you're gonna
And
be
I don't,
getting-
and somebody asked me about that earlier, and that would be I don't know how the insurance is paid for. I don't know if it's commingled in my budget. I don't know how that gets worked out. That's all
We already talked
purchasing.
about it,
Yeah,
but the car.
So, but we take care of the maintenance on everything.
y'all do your own maintenance and
Yeah.
everything, and it's not increasing the number of vehicles because you
Not right
have
now.
7 that are down and you're getting 6
Well-
vehicles. And you and Tim, what are you gonna do with the 7 that are down? What happens to those
They
vehicles?
get auctioned off. They're so bad, you'd have to pull them on a flatbed. They
I
won't even.
understand. I'm just making sure we're getting rid of 7. You're
Yeah.
not gonna all of a sudden start working and we're gonna have more vehicles.
Yeah,
So,
I think my total fleet balance is 10 or 11. I'd have to go back and check somewhere around there.
okay.
So, yep, everything's all funded. It's either ARPA or GOMESA monies for the boardwalk project. And also you have a map in there. Commissioner Pusley, I forgot, I'm not used to attaching these last little drawings, so I gave you a little drawing of what we're
No,
doing at the pond.
I appreciate that very much.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of passing item 2, 3, 4, and 5? We have a motion and a second. All members? Aye.
Aye.
In favor. I couldn't think of the word. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item C1, grants. Discuss and consider approval of the Texas HHSC Health and Human Services Commission Title XX Home Delivered Meals Program. This has, I only have a question real quick. Has the rate increased or our contributions increased? Anything increased on that, or is it basically the same and they reimburse us for it anyway?
Basically the same, they reimburse us. It's gonna be a set amount, so we'll
Yes.
fill up to that amount.
Make the motion to pass.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Item D, Public Works. Item number 1, discuss and consider execution of change order number 2 with RGO Roofing and Construction LLC in the amount of $37,792.85 for courthouse roof improvements. ARPA funded project with the remaining contingency funds. So we're out of contingency. That's $27,797, and the balance of the $9,995 from the building superintendent budget, Department 15700. Question.
Yes, ma'am.
This roof project, is it halfway done? What percentage is done? A third done? We're very early in the roof project, aren't we?
We're about, on the actual roof itself, Judge, we're about 2/3 of it completed. The only thing remaining is gonna be, the atrium. And, once that's completed, then the roof will be 100%.
My concern is change orders, and we're already taking money out of your superintendent fund and using all the contingency. Do you anticipate a lot more surprises, or
No,
where are we
Judge-
going to have the funds for this?
Judge, we're not anticipating any future.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I have, no surprises. We wish. I'll make the motion to pass.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Item number 2, discuss and consider authorizing approving supplemental agreement number 5 with Hanson to provide stormwater management services in the county's Texas pollutant discharge elimination system, and municipal separate stormwater sewer system permit. This is a shared cost with the airport fund. I think
That's
comes
correct.
Out of both of y'all's, yes.
That's correct, Judge. We're recommending approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is just a supplemental agreement, so it's not the original agreement. My notes say something
Yes,
about county attorney. Have they seen this? But all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. It is 12:37. Do y'all want me to push through some more? Do y'all
Yep.
want to break and go to
Go ahead.
executive? Okay. Auditor, item 1, discuss and review the monthly financial report for fiscal year 24-25 ending March 31st, 2025, and related matters. Go ahead, Jason.
So Commissioners and Judge, keeping with speed, I just wanted to let y'all know that in my opinion, everything in there is true and depicts an accurate picture of our financials as of March 31st. A couple little highlights, just so we all know, is that in general fund, everything's looking very good. We are a little low on property tax revenue, but we are way over in interest on investments due to high interest rates. So those are netting each other out.
What does that mean, low on property tax?
So we had estimated to collect, I think, around 96, give or take, and off the top of my head, and we're about 93.
Okay, but that could still come up.
It could still come up with lates and penalties and all those things could come in, yes.
Yeah, we don't want them to balance out. We want to be ahead of the game, right?
The good news is on expenditures in the general fund, we are below where we would normally be at this time. So lots of salary savings in departments, so that those are good news items.
Motion to pass, Judge.
And I will be bringing April at the next one as well. So we'll get back on a once a month.
That's what I was gonna ask. So what is your plan? It's once a month?
Yeah, my plan
I
is to
mean,
once a
we're
month.
gonna be a month or two behind. What is?
So I have April's on my desk and it's
Okay.
been reviewed. And I'm trying to speed it up. So generally what has been happening in the past is that they will not even get revenue until the 26th of
Yeah,
the month.
yeah, we were.
We can go ahead and
Pretty
do
behind.
the monthly with that and just note that revenue is still coming in as it is. That way we can go
Right.
ahead and get the monthly report out the door, right?
Right.
So
I mean, I don't want to compare us to anybody, but best practice is probably about a month or so. Constance, what you say? And I think that's,
all right.
that's the preference.
Yeah.
That's what, I mean, the expectation is,
Like
I
to
think,
get
so,
to.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
We see it progressing, so thank you.
Well, I'd also kind of like to get more of a streamlined look to the report as well. So I'm starting that look as well.
We
Looking
have a
forward to that.
motion
Thank you.
and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Moving on to item 2, discuss and consider approving budget amendment number 10 for fiscal year 24-25 and all related matters. I understand this was some coding issues for insurance.
Yes, so on the insurance, we
Yes.
had, the budget had gone into the wrong account. This is just correcting the account that it's in.
It should be in. I'll make a
Motion to
motion.
approve.
Second his motion. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 3, discuss and consider approving project budget amendment number 013 and all related matters. And, go
So
ahead.
this is just to align funding for Horace Caldwell Pier. I do believe it created a new project and I think there's one other on there as well.
And this
It's
is
very
what we asked for when separating these projects.
That's correct.
Is that what we're doing with this, Teresa?
This is the agenda item that was approved last court for the Horace Caldwell Pier to create the new projects and
But
close
we
out the
wanted
whole-
them created in their own projects so that we can have quick balances and know what's in there and what's not. Yes, that's what I meant. That's
see.
the way we
Yeah.
asked for it to be. Yes. I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. On F1, human resources, I believe I want to pull that one into executive. Any?
Okay.
Yes, before we have a question. Go to G1.
Your Honor, I have reviewed both of these items with Daryl and IT, and I'd like to make a motion to approve item G1 and 2 as submitted.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion to approve the IT item G1 and G2?
I have asked, just one note, I have asked Daryl to visit with Spectrum. They have a really bad habit of when the power goes down, don't seem to have any backup power to their systems. And I think especially as related to our new EOC center, if that ever gets built, that's gonna be a critical issue.
I agree.
I know. I am believing, buddy, trust me.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes.
You're up.
So we are up, yes, executive. Thank you for hopping in, Daryl, not necessary. Executive session, public notice is given that the Commissioners Court may elect to go into executive session anytime during the meeting to discuss matters listed anywhere.
Daryl,
Go ahead, wait.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, that's okay.
Do we have Daryl here? I just wanted to say, thank you for everything he's done at the Calderon. For working
yes,
with Amistad,
working.
working with the city health. I think everything's pretty much ready to go for Monday, right? I hope. Sir, the lights are better go on. Okay.
Thank you.
So I want to thank you for everything you've done, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, team.
Okay, executive session, public notice is given that the Commissioners Court may elect to go into an executive session anytime during the meeting to discuss matters listed anywhere on the agenda when authorized by the provision of the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. To the extent there's been a past practice of distinguishing items for public deliberation and those for executive session, the public is advised that the court is departing from that practice and reserves the right to discuss any listed agenda items in executive session when authorized by law to do so. In the event the Commissioners Court elects to go into executive session regarding an agenda item, the section or sections of the Open Meetings Act authorizing the executive session will be publicly announced by the presiding officer. In accordance with the authority of Government Code, Vernon, Texas Code, Section 551.071, 551.072, 551.073, 551.074, 551.0745, 551.076, 551.086, 551.087. The Commissioners Court will hold an executive session to consult with the attorneys, including matters related to litigation, deliberate regarding real property, prospective gifts, personnel matters, including termination, county advisory bodies, security devices, and/or economic development negotiations, and other matters that may be discussed in an executive session. Upon completion of the executive session, the Commissioners Court may, in an open session, take such action as appropriate on items discussed in the executive session. Item A today, consult with the county attorney regarding legal matters related to the EEOC charge 451-2025-00822 and related matters, Texas Government Code 551.071. Item B, consult with the county attorney and outside counsel regarding legal matters related to 2024 DCV-1905B, Lawrence R. Jones III versus Nueces County in the 117th District Court in Nueces County, Texas, and related matters, Texas Government Code 551.071. Item C, consult with the county attorney and outside counsel regarding legal matters related to the May 19th, 2025 claim by DLF2 Inc. and DBA DLF Texas and related matters, Texas Government Code 551.071. And all of these were, or as I said earlier, we can take action after executive. I'm just not reading all of that. Item D, consult with the county attorney regarding the potential tax increment reinvestment zone, TERS number 7 in the London area and all related matters. Item 551.071 as well, Nicole, on the TERS, I would have just, it's a county attorney advisory. Yeah. All right, under my note. Consult with the county attorney on the construction of improvements to the water system and wastewater system facilities in the Banquete, Texas area in collaboration with the Nueces County Water Control and Improvement District 5 and interlocal agreements between Nueces County and Nueces County Water Control and Improvement District number 5. I have a message on here. Commissioner Pusley, was this to be tabled? No, we're moving forward with it. Okay. Yes. And Nueces County Water Control and Improvement District number 5 related to the Banquete water improvement projects take action in open session if necessary. Texas Government Code 551.071. Item F, consult with the county attorney regarding the Corpus Christi Housing Authority and the Cameron County Housing Finance Corporation tax exempt issue and all related matters. Texas Government Code 551.071. Item G, consult with the county attorney regarding CPS Energy tax exempt issue and all related matters. Texas Government Code 551.071. Consult with the county attorney regarding legal matters relating to instituting traffic controls on various county roads and related matters. Texas Government Code 551.071. Item I, consult with the county attorney regarding the proposed change order number 2 and contract for Callan Marine and all related matters, Texas Government Code 551.071. Item J, discuss and consider the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment of duties, discipline, or dismissal of the airport manager. Take action in open session if necessary, Texas Government Code 551.074. And item K, conduct interviews of applicants for the Animal Services Manager position, Texas Government Code 551.071. And item 3A7 we brought into executive is discuss, I'm sorry? Discuss and consider the summary of findings and conclusions related to the change order request and deduction of contracts with Cala Marine for proposed restaurant construction in Bob Hall Pier, 551.071. And then F1 is, thank you very much. Discuss and consider approving and authorizing execution of an amendment to a managed prescription drug care program agreement managed by Script Care to include coverage for Omnipod and Dexcom glucom meters and sensors and all related matters. That would be 551.071. And it is 12:49. And we have lots of items. We are going to executive. We will be back in a while. It is 4:39 and we are back from executive on executive item C. We have an action. Commissioner Presley, I think you had an action item for executive C.
Page 7, and start there.
We don't have anything on
Either one of them.
item 7. On F1 we do, but we're gonna hold that till last.
Hold that. Okay. And then,
Item executive item C.
B.
Yeah. Looks like Commissioner. Thank you.
Yes, get my microphone over here, Your Honor. I would like to make a motion to ratify the engagement agreement for Kilpatrick, Townsend and Stockton LLP for legal services related to the May 19th, 2025 claim by DLF2 Incorporated.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we have an action item for H. Commissioner,
Yes, ma'am. I would make a motion to publish the required notice for a public hearing to place stop signs on county roads 49, 51, and 53 in accordance with the Texas Transportation Code, section 251.152. Schedule a public hearing to take place during the Commissioners Court meeting on the first meeting in July, which I apologize is July 9th, 2025, and for Public Works to make sure that all notices are put forth immediately.
I'll second that.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item I has an action.
Yes, ma'am, I would make a motion to pass the proposed change order number 2 in the amount of $94,069 for Callan Marine in regards to the Bob Hall Pier reconstruction project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously as well. We have an action item for J.
Yes, Judge, I make a motion, we accept the resignation of the Nueces County Airport Manager effective June 30th, 2025, contingent on all necessary paperwork.
Signed documents, yes.
Is it resignation or retirement?
Retirement.
Retirement.
I think he's gonna retire or whatever, but he's
Okay.
resignation, retired.
Okay. Somebody second that, sorry.
You can have it.
Second,
Thank you.
sorry.
If you want it, you said it. Any other, that's all. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We have an action item on K.
Yes, Judge, I make a motion to select John Idetta as the Animal Services Director.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and just a note, he has accepted the position. On item F1, going back to our regular agenda, I am going to ask to table this item. There are some things that were left off. It was not printed and bring this back for Monday, the 16th of June at 1 p.m. for a one item court for us to address all three items that were left off up here.
Second, Judge, and we're gonna change some wording on that thing too, just to
Yes,
be the exact same item.
we are,
Right.
yes.
Just- okay.
Some things that were left off is what I said.
Gotcha.
so
Yeah,
we're
I'm
gonna
sorry,
bring
you
it
said
back
that.
To court, yes.
My apologies.
No, that's fine. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. And so that's Monday, the 16th at 1 p.m. We will have a one item agenda court, so to address these issues that takes care of our business here today. If there was no action item, there means there was no action taken. Are there any adjournments in memory?
I have
Yeah,
several,
go
but I
ahead.
don't need to start.
If you're ready, go ahead.
The first adjournment memory I have today is Laura Escobar. Laura entered the world on May 20th, 1961, graduated in 1979 from Mary Carroll, where she met the love of her life, Rory Escobar, and they married in November of 1981. Laura was the sister of Mark Escamilla. She could tell a story and throw a party like no other. Family and friends were the center of her life. Her laughter and good humor were infectious, and she loved creating things. She was preceded in death by her father, Manuel Escamilla, and grandparents as well. She is survived by her husband of 47 years, Rory Escobar of Corpus Christi, daughters Kristen Gillespie of Austin. Sorry, long list here, my apologies, of Corpus Christi, her grandchildren, and many other members of her family as well. Our condolences go out to the Escobar and Escamilla family in the passing of Laura Escobar. Hard name here for me today. Paul Livaditas was born December 11th, 1934 in Greece. He immigrated to the United States in January 1951 and spent his first 10 years as a New York City resident. Wanting to acclimate himself into the fabric of his new country, he worked days in restaurants as a dishwasher. He would work days at first and later as a server, and went to school at night to learn English and get his high school equivalency degree. He also served in the U.S. Army, Korean War, and received veteran recognition. In 1961, Paul moved to Corpus Christi, and after establishing himself financially there as a business owner, he married Anna Pajos in 1965. They came back to Texas for 8 years, bearing their children before returning to New York City. He survived through his spouse, Anna, their children, Costas, Alexia, Virginia, grandchildren, Emmanuel, Anna, Pavlos, his sister, Sophia, and many nephews, nieces, and 4 godchildren. Condolences to the family. The next one is Albert Howie. Bert passed away on May 26, 2025, one day after celebrating his 54th birthday. He's survived by his children, Megan and Dylan Howie, and their mother, Tish Allen, granddaughters, Riley and Adelaide Garland, his parents. He's preceded in his death by his brother, Daniel Howie. He was a dedicated firefighter and paramedic whose legacy of service touched many communities. His distinguished career included service with Bexar County Company 4, Houston Fire Department, Aransas County EMS, Tri-County EMS, and Port Aransas Medical Services. He also served with fire and EMS departments in Angleton, Odom, Aransas Pass, Sinton, and Mathis. He held leadership roles in several organizations, including service as fire chief for the Rockport Volunteer Fire Department. In addition to his work in emergency services, Bert contributed his skills as part of the first aid team for Bechtel Engineering, the Houston Astros, and the Corpus Christi Hooks. A lifelong Astros fan, he was deeply proud of his association with these organizations. He will be remembered for his enormous heart, steady strength, radiant smile, and unwavering dedication to helping others. Condolences to the Howie family. Sam Harper. Sam Harper was a longtime coach, was at Ray High School for many years. I don't know if he was still there when Commissioner Mottes was there or not, but he was born in 1935 and passed away from his life on May 10th, 2025. He was a proud fifth generation Texan, as his great grandfather, Benjamin Harper, was the first Harper in Texas and fought in the Battle of San Jacinto, Texas independence for Mexico. He was preceded in death by his wife of 66 years, and he survived by many children. Sam loved God, his family, friends, fellowship, food, and football, and not necessarily in that order, as he loved to say. He also loved his church, his pastor, his neighbors, the Harper Hour crew, TLC, Texas A&M, fishing, hunting, White Rock Ranch, and the gang, gardening. He was a gatherer of people and continues his relationship his whole life. Many condolences. Sam was just a really good guy. He was, I didn't have the pleasure of being coached by Coach Harper, but he certainly was a mentor to myself and many others throughout his life, and condolences to the Harper family. Finally, Judy Zadansky, age 80, went to be with the Lord on May 22nd, 2025. She was raised and spent most of her childhood in Beeville. She spent her life devoted wife, mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. The greatest love was caring for and supporting her family. She learned later in life, she found joy and friendship working at Meadowbrook Elementary here in Corpus Christi, where she served in the school cafeteria alongside her best friends, Nancy and Barbara, for over 15 years. Her hobbies reflected her creative soul. She loved crafting, going to garage sales, and piddling in the flower beds. Her home served many purposes over the years, a hub of love, laughter, and warmth, whether family or friends. She was quite a lady. Our condolences to the Zadansky family. That's all, Judge. I'm sorry.
Any others? And our sincere condolences to the Escamilla, Escobar, Levitas, Howie, Harpers, and the Kadansky families. We sincerely wish all their families peace and through this difficult time. Our business here is almost over, but we have been in executive, and I know I've seen you guys here all day waiting. I don't know if you wanted a moment or if Callan would like to say anything. I hate that you sat here all day and we had a motion and there was nothing really in executive. So if you wanted to go to the microphone and.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Rick Alexander. I'm the project director for Callan Marine, and I'm in charge of the Bob Hole Fish and Pier project. we understand it's late. We really don't want to take up much of your time. I know everybody's been here all day. It's been a long day for everybody. One thing, a correction is the change order request in your minutes is actually for change order number 3, not number 2. But further, we would like to state for the record that we not only disagree with the change order, but we were never included in the county reaching this decision, although I personally have recommended or have requested us to sit down and meet to discuss and try and resolve. We came here today in good faith. What we'd like to do, since we're out of time and everybody's tired, is we would like to request a meeting so that we can at least make the board or make the commissioners understand our position in the change order request.
Thank you. I appreciate your request, and I know there is a procedure. Mr. Harris is in the back, Scott is, for disagreements on contractual involvement. So I ask you to first do the procedure. If that doesn't work out, then if you want to come before us or set up a meeting or something, then that might be the next procedure after that or something. But I believe there is a policy and a procedure in place for you to argue those kind of with our project manager and anybody else. Brent, help me out if there's something I'm incorrectly stating here, but I know we have these on contracts from time to time, but that's the reason we have a project manager as well. That's the reason we have our LAM here, and most of us up here, or many of us up here, are not construction people, so we leave it to the experts first, and then if there's still some discussions and y'all aren't coming to an agreement, then I think that would be the next procedure to move forward.
And my only comment would be that per our contract, the next procedure is to go into mediation, and Calhoun would really like to not be forced to take that step. So we would like to, for this thing to be worked out and not have us go to the next position.
We appreciate that.
And I think too, that it's a little bit of a misstatement to say you weren't involved with the process. Y'all have had many meetings with our construction teams, and they've made their position very clear, and you've made your position very clear. So you have been in those processes. That's how we do it. I mean, we don't go meet with contractors. We have, especially on big projects, or, that's why we hire them to do it, to go forward and stake our position. They've kept us informed, or they've kept myself and the judge informed in meetings, because we can only meet 2 of us at a time, or we violate the Open Meetings Act. And so I'm very well aware of your position. They've made me very well of theirs. If we have to go to mediation, if that's what you want to do, then that's what we'll do, because I don't know what else to do. I mean, they've articulated very clearly what your position is to us. I don't know what else to do. I mean, I really don't. I mean, if that's how you want to, proceed, that's up to you guys. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you want to continue making your case to them, and we can try, but it'd be informal mediation. Whatever you want to do. I mean, that's fine.
We would like to see this move forward and be resolved and
Sure.
the job continue. So I think we all want the same end result. So whatever we need to do.
Yes, ma'am. And we thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank y'all for being here today. If there's no further business, anything I missed, anybody? It is 4:54 and this meeting is adjourned. Hold on, wait. What do you want? Signatures.